So now we're doing recording on both.
Sweet.
Yeah. So this is kind of how the show starts.
All
There's
right.
no like intro or something crazy.
No, this is great.
But yeah. Jamie Drummond.
Yes.
Thanks for coming to the show.
Finally here. I'm very excited.
Yeah. I was stoked when you hit me up.
Yeah. Well, you've had a lot of good people on.
I think so.
Like
yeah.
every time I'm like, damn, man, I need to get on the show.
Yeah, it's ramping up. When I first started, I had like three good friends of mine, but like they were like 3 episodes of each of them.
Oh, yeah.
So people are like, dude, we've heard about these people all the time.
Yeah.
We're
We're bored. We need some more new faces.
Yeah. So, and it was fun. I mean, the topics of conversation don't change from really guest to guest. I mean, they change, but the approach doesn't change.
Yeah.
Except when the mayor was on, I was kind of like, I don't know what I'm going to ask this guy.
Yeah.
And
what? I didn't see it, so I don't
yeah.
know. What'd you talk about? Anything like just
mayor
Whistler
stuff.
like mayor stuff?
Yeah, like transport and stuff. And I don't know what I'm talking about, so it didn't really work out.
Yeah, I haven't followed it much either. Like I was like, maybe I'll join council. I think maybe my friend MP used to always be like, you should be a prime minister. I was like, well, I don't know if I want that job,
right.
but council or something. So I was like, okay, but I just don't think it's very interesting.
No, I think
this year I'm going to go to the council meetings.
I think you have a good personality for it. Just depends on
maybe
how much you want to put up with the shit that you have to take when people are just like, I don't like what you just did, or you just
yeah, you're never going to make everyone happy. That's just the rules.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. Thanks for coming to the show. I'm stoked you're here.
Sweet.
It's great.
I'm happy to be here.
And we can talk about mayor stuff later. I'm not that worried about it. I mean, we already discussed it. But yeah, we used to work together at the Glacier Creek.
Yeah.
Like
first job.
That was your first job.
Was it? Oh, it was It was my second year.
It was my first year, I think.
Because I was at Crystal Hut, but me and the manager
got along really well.
Yeah, we were really close. And Sean was running both of them at the same time, and he just problem solved that like late in the year, like maybe February.
Right.
He was like, "Why don't you come back?"
I remember when you got there because I think I was just busting tables. Maybe I was a supervisor, lead hand, or something like that by then.
Yeah, maybe I think you might have been.
Yeah, that's
maybe it was the next year. I don't know.
I don't know.
Unless you came in as lead hand.
Nah, I worked. My first year was 2004.
Yeah, that was
2003, I guess. Like the end, like December, November, 2003.
Yeah, mine was 2002, 2003, and then I was at Glacier Creek that year, and then I went to Crystal Hut the next year, and then I came down to Glacier Creek after the butting of the heads.
Yeah.
Maurice was her name.
Oh, she's probably way gone by now, I guess.
Yeah, she was. She was this French Canadian girl, but she wasn't like any French Canadian. Like, French Canadians are really nice. She was a little bit like, I don't know, what's the word? Like,
shitty.
Like she sucked, but she wasn't like awesome like French Canadians that are fiery and like French Canadian women they know what they want. They tell you. It's very clear.
Right.
I love that about French Canadian women. Maybe not everyone,
but not this one.
She just was like wishy-washy and like she didn't stand her ground enough, but I just bulldozed her a bit and she sucked. Yeah. And then it was like, oh, it's my birthday today. So I was like, oh, wow, happy birthday. And I was like, what are you, 30? And I thought I was being generous. And she's like 27. And I was like,
oh, so what?
Because I was like 24 at the time. I was like, you're 3 years older than me and you suck.
If someone's off by 3 years with me, I'm like, that's cool. If someone's like, you look like
3
you're
years
43,
over, that's not. You don't want to be, as a woman, you do not want to be called 30 before, like 3 years before.
30 is one thing. Yeah, true. I guess if you were,
I thought I was being nice. That was the thing. I was like, good Lord,
well, because attitude really does get people's age sometimes too, right? Like some people, if they're really grumpy, you're like, you're probably a little bit older. Mm-hmm. But if you're not, then you take it personally. Then you take it personally because you're grumpy.
Yeah, that was a good gig though, because they did the fondue at night. And so sometimes you'd get to do, well, no, you wouldn't work the day. You'd come up on a snowmobile at like 4:30.
That's cool.
And so you got to ride a couple more days if you got to do that. And you got a little bit more money.
A little bit more scratch. You know what was cool was when they had the end of year party up there. So when Sean, were you up there when they had the 2 hot tubs?
No.
Oh, man.
I never went to a hot tub party.
So Sean, there was a Glacier Creek and I think it was all Whistler Blackcomb. Or sorry, all Blackcomb side. I don't know if it was I don't know who it was, staff in the food and beverage department, all the key people.
Yeah.
And he got 2 soft tubs taken up on snowcats and put on the balcony at the Crystal Hut. And then we had an overnight party there. There's patrols out there. It was crazy.
Oh my! I think I heard about this, but I completely forgot about it.
You remember Alan Thompson? English guy, supervisor? Sean's like right-hand man.
I'd need to see his face, and then I'd be like, yeah.
Cool. Anyway, that guy got lost.
In the woods?
Well, he was sleeping in with the mice underneath Crystal Hut. No one knew where he was.
Is there mice there? I thought it was like martins.
Well, yeah.
Is that what they're called?
Just big
martins?
mice. Martins.
Or
hoary marmots. Marmots.
Marmots? But they weren't marmots. They're like martins. There's an actual thing.
Oh, there's two things.
They're like little tiny, like almost like those.
They're like this long. They're kind of like a weasel. But they're like a mountain weasel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's either a marten or a marmot is kind of like a beaver without a tail. That's right. The marten is like the kind of like the falcor looking.
Yeah.
Longer ones that look like a weasel.
Yeah, exactly. Marmot is a beaver like a tail. Yeah. I saw one up close once. I was hiking on, I think it was High Note Trail, walking behind there in the summer, and saw this little marmot, hoary marmot, whistler. Weird, he was just like munching on the floor.
Right.
And I was like, oh, sweet. And we got like, like me to...
Too close.
Really close, and he didn't care. And then all of a sudden, in the distance, you heard this whistle, and his ears just pop out like this, and then he goes like... flies back to his like Mufasa rock, and he's just like had this like regal Mufasa pose up there, and I was like, oh, in a snap he was
really
from like eating groundhoggy kind of to like
high alert
Mufasa the mountain.
I wonder what it was that caught attention.
It was the whistle from the other hoary. So this
like
is what they do.
It was like high alert, something's going on.
Yeah, they whistle back and forth. So if someone's whistling, it's like something's happening. I don't know if they can tell in the whistle if this like
there must be like
maybe they have pitches. I don't know.
It'd be like us, like if we yelled at different levels or different like emotions behind them, you can tell, right? Probably the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because I caught a marten at Rendezvous one winter because they were all inside there, put in a cage, and they're awesome. They're cute.
Yeah.
Compared to a marmot, it's a little bit more like
tinier. Like a marmot's pretty. But
a marten looks like kind of soft. I mean, it was definitely a bit squirrely. Like it was annoyed.
Yeah.
But it looked cool. It's the only one I've ever seen.
It's nice when you get to see like weird animals that you don't always see. Like bears, we always see.
Yeah. Right.
Lots of bears, which are good too. Don't get me wrong. You're always stoked when you see a bear. Like, saw a bear today.
Like bear count up to 4.
Up to 4.
You're always like, it's always funny on social media when someone's like, saw my first bear today, and like it is kind of a thing.
It's a thing. It's an important first in Whistler.
Yeah.
Have you ever had any like negative
encounters?
I've gotten chased by a bear.
Really?
Yeah. It was.
Were you out running or doing something? Were you?
I have ran into a bear before. Actually, there's a lot of bear encounters because I used to go through this like kind of wooded area between, the area between lots 4 and 3. There's that little area. They've thinned all the trees lately, and so now you can kind of see in.
Right, you used to be like a pot smoking bunch.
So I used to like book it through the woods on my bike because it's kind of all downhill. I used to live in White Gold at the time. Yeah. And all of a sudden I go through that area, which is kind of closed off now, but it wasn't. And there was a bear right there, and I had to brake. And as I broke, it kind of like startled, and it ran off. I was like, it was black, like it was dark. Like obviously the bear was black. Yeah. I meant it was dark outside. Yeah. And I was like, holy shoot, I was almost biked into a bear. And then this is the main story. Sorry to interrupt.
No, I didn't interrupt you. Go ahead.
This is the main story. I went into a house to get something, and I ran out. But I'm going to skip that part of the story. Anyways, so I run in this guy's house. I run out, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go this other way. But I didn't actually know because my friend was waiting out in a car. Right. And it was in, the condos across from the IGA.
Yep. Totally.
So, and it's kind of weavy and
that little windy road and stuff. There's like hot tub stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So you're going into the middle of that courtyard and you're trying to find the exit out to the street.
Yeah.
And as I'm looking, I was like, oh, I just got to look right away forward to make sure I don't run into anything. And as I look forward, there's a bear. I shit you not. It was like 4 feet away from me. Right. And I was like, oh, he was just had his mouth on the ground, like eating. And I was like, oh God. And I just do what you don't do. Yeah. But he was so close. I just needed to make space. Yeah. So I took one step back and then another half step to turn. So it was like one step, taking a step as I'm turning, and he's like, like mouth open, making a sound and running at me, and I was like fuck it. And I just took off running. And then luckily someone's dog saw it, and I never looked back. So I don't know.
He could have been like right beside you.
I mean, it was probably a false charge. Like, you know, they
bluff charge or whatever.
Or bluff charge. Yeah. Like, they want to create the exact same space, you know? So, but I didn't look around. I was like, I'm at the running point now with this bear. Because
at that point, like, yeah, like your option.
I think the dog saved me. I'm not gonna lie.
For sure, probably.
Yeah,
yeah.
Or he got excited and ran after. It was a Great Dane, so it was quite a large dog, anyways. And he got excited and ran, and he went that way, and I was like, not even looking back. Not even looking back.
I've never had.
That was the scariest for sure.
Right. That would make your heart just go boom and pump out, and you're like, what's gonna happen? Because you don't know.
I did.
And you just learned about how you operate in such situations. You just take off.
Yeah.
Because everyone tells you to kind of like back away slowly or like look big and stuff, and you're like, everyone's like, fuck that, I'm getting out of here. And if it's the wrong decision, at least I feel good about it at the time.
You just react. I mean, when it happens, like, you think that you're like, yeah, this is what if you have space. Like, once I was running along and I came over, you know, it was the trails in Lost Lake area. I was just doing a single track mountain bike and, you know, kind of rolling, came over, and there was one right there, like maybe 15 feet away, and I was like, that's all right. Hey, bear. Whatever. Did the slow back walk. That's fine.
Everyone says, hey, bear.
I know. I don't know. I think it's because we don't know what to say. Like, maybe we should just go into a jingle or sing a song. Like, everyone has their own bear song. Yeah. I don't know.
I've never had a run-in with a bear. I don't know if I would. I don't know what I'd probably do the same, but just take off. I don't think. Like,
if it's chasing you, you definitely chase. You don't stand there.
Well, no. Apparently they're faster than you.
They're faster than you for sure, but it's.
I would run. I think I wouldn't, because in that situation.
What are you going to put your dukes up?
Say you just like played it cool and it did attack you. Then that attempt or that tactic didn't work.
No.
So I don't want to test the tactic. I don't know. I know if I run, I can. At least I know I'm running.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying something here. Anyway, I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had that situation. I've seen bears a bunch. I've been kind of close, but usually they just startle and they book it.
Yeah, they know. It's funny because I heard that their eyesight isn't really good, right?
Right.
So I was playing ball at the ballpark there, and I was like, oh, I have a friend coming. I want to take a picture. There was the big chain like he wasn't getting at me. So
it's a big bear that hangs around there.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So he's not getting me. So I'm coming close, but not too close. But I'm also aware that there's a huge fence that he's not. Yeah. I mean, I guess he could climb.
He could, but he's not gonna.
Yeah, he's not. Exactly. So I'm going close. I'm pretty far away from him. And I decide to say the one word you always say to a bear. Hey, bear. Hey, bear. I'm like, hey, bear. And he stood up because he saw us coming. Yeah. He just didn't react. And as soon as I said words, he was like, bah. He took off. I was like, man. Well, so I guess they hurt. They're like, oh, that's a person. See ya.
Probably
they suck.
Sick of hearing hey, bear. Yeah. You're like, dude.
I've heard that song.
Again, yeah.
Heard that song.
Hey, human. Yeah. I don't know. When I hear these stories of like people who like the guy like choked that mountain lion to death.
Yeah.
Who the fuck's that guy?
And then, but I've read other stories because, I'm one to look through the news. Wait. And I heard that, and I was like, well, that was a young cougar. I just felt like, I was like, there's no way a cougar.
Probably emaciated, like it was dying, that's what attacked it.
Yes, exactly. It's starving. It doesn't have its hunting techniques down, and it's just trying anything it can. Right. So I found out it was 1 year old. And then I read something later about something. It was like, he was only a few months old. I was like, where was his mom? Like, I was like a few months old.
Killed a baby. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I was like, so a large cat you killed.
Either way, even if it's the size of a bobcat. They aren't as big. A bobcat can fuck you up. I don't know if it can.
If a dog of that side lunged at me, I'd be like, gee,
Like, cats are so mobile. Like, they're so, like, dogs kind of like.
And crazy.
Yeah.
They
because dogs won't use their paws.
You know those cat toys that like you see that cat going like the Asian kind of. Right. You know they have those. Someone out there does.
What the bird drops and the cat swaps.
No, there's like this cat and it has this thing and it's like. I don't know. I can't describe it. It's like
it's a real cat.
No, it's a toy, like a statue or a toy of something. Right. It's an Asian style or Japanese.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Its paws just kind of, I don't know. It's a perpetual motion kind of thing or whatever. Anyways,
it's very kind of cartoony, kind of like Russian doll looking.
Yeah. That's what I was trying.
Yeah.
Well, cats go crazy when they go to the claw. They're not going once. It's like
because dogs will bite you, and if you bite you, you're fucked. But they don't use they don't try to scratch you with their paws.
No.
Cats are like, all 4 of these things are weapons.
Yeah,
and
weapons.
So is my mouth.
And so is my mouth, yeah. And I'm fast.
I'm super quick.
Super fast.
I don't know how, even if that guy choked a little baby cougar to death, I mean.
Still, yeah, I don't know if it was a baby. I feel like, come on, if it's 3 months. A year old,
Still,
but even a year, like I think they stay with their mom for 2 years. So either his mom died or something happened if he was 1 and he was by himself. So yeah, he would have been not in a good way. Yeah, because he's not ready.
Right.
But then I didn't really follow to see like, okay, what's the real story?
Hear about the ones
what's the
like
facts on
those
this?
Guys, those 2 bikers who like got attacked in like Washington somewhere, and then the one guy took off to save his friend, and the cougar went after him, and then like it killed the other guy. Like, remember that? Like last year.
I think I remember
bikers
that
in like Oregon or Washington or Oregon somewhere.
What Washington? I think it was.
Yeah, it wasn't that far.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, or that dude who got attacked by a grizzly bear and made it out alive when he's videotaping himself walking down the path.
Stop it!
He's,
I
like,
never saw
dying,
that.
Like
no.
Yeah, but he makes it. It's crazy.
I wouldn't make a video. I'd be like, if I die, this is.
Fuck.
At least I was trying to walk away from this. Oh shit! Here he comes again.
It is crazy. Those things are like.
Grizzlies are big.
I've only seen them in like. I've only seen a grizzly in like up on Grouse.
I haven't seen them in the wild, thank God. You don't want to.
No.
That's the one where you lay dead because you have no hope, right? Like they're like, black bear, make yourself tall.
That's your only hope.
That's your only hope is to hope he doesn't maul you to death completely.
I think that's how it goes, but I think it rarely. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I think I'd love to know the people who didn't make it if they tried to play dead and just ended up dead.
Yeah, we don't know we'll never know statistics on that. Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know. I've never seen a grizzly bear. Have you? Remember that moose that was.
I was just talking about this moose the other day, and we basically killed that moose because everybody.
Humans did, you mean?
Yeah. Right. Because everyone wanted to see the moose, and so everyone would go into that little. It's between White Gold and the village, and everyone would try to go in. There's a little path they'd walk through there trying to find the moose, but the moose was like not well. And then of course we decided that we needed to tranquilize it and get it out of here because it was causing. Now it started to like bluff church
react to
people that because it's not used to. People,
humans are
and it was like a small moose. It was like a female moose.
Yeah. Was it sick or just lost?
I don't know. I think it was lost. I guess lost. I don't speak moose.
They know where moose are never lost.
Yeah, they was just wandering, but it wandered just maybe, there's been a lot of like forest fire, but this was a long time ago. It wasn't in the forest fires.
But you were saying that so when they tranquilized it, that killed it?
Yeah, well, they moved it out and apparently this was in the papers that moose. Just moose.
I think it's always moose.
Yeah, it's just moose. I remember from grade 4 or something. Moose just always they don't do well. They don't do well after they've been tranquilized or relocated or something. Okay. So they didn't know that what was going to happen, and then they thought it was pregnant. Remember, and then there was like, no, it wasn't pregnant because then they found it like dead, like maybe 18 months later, 8 months later. I don't know what it was. Jeez. They're like, remember that moose? Well, it's dead now, and you're like. Great.
A lot of
we couldn't just have our resident moose. We had to ruin it.
We had to kill it.
Yeah.
I remember they have to like put bears down because like the interactions with like Iron Men and.
Yeah, I remember that. I mean.
You want to hear something really horrible? This is really sad. I witnessed this. So I was driving.
Shit.
It's about bears. It's kind of disturbing.
It died, obviously.
Not quite.
Okay, well, tell the story.
It did eventually. So I'm driving from Alpine to the village, and I get towards Nestor's. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
And this is Adam. Come on through.
Hey.
I just grabbed one thing. How's it going?
Good to see you.
This is Jamie.
Nice to meet
Adam.
you. Good to see you. A little cameo by Adam.
Yeah, little Adam. So, these are his lights, by the way.
Oh, perfect.
So I was driving from Alpine to the village and my Nestor's. Later, buddy. See ya. Yeah. And so, there's a bear had been hit on the road right by the bus station there, and it was alive, but it was paralyzed from the mid down. So it was dragging himself around the highway, yelling and screaming. And so I had to watch how the park rangers had to take him out.
And not a moment too soon.
No, they were right there too, right? But it was like, oh man, worst thing I've seen.
No, I can't imagine.
So weird.
I saw once my dad, I think the car, we were driving home from somewhere when we were kids, and there was a car not a ways, but a while in front, and I think it hit a cat. And then the other car that was in front of us swerved around it. But at this point, it was like, it was like, violently
dying.
Moving.
Oh God, man.
In a bad way. And I never forgot that. I was like, and my dad swerved last minute because it was really quick. And he's like, I should have just ran over. Like, I remember him saying, because it was, and I remember looking behind, and it was just
freaking out and dying.
It was, so to have to witness Bear with even its bigger body and larger voice suffering, that's got to be
And it had a collar
terrible.
on stuff. But you know what? When you're driving along and you see like a mouse, you hit a mouse, it goes blunk, and you lift your feet up. You just.
I've never hit anything, so I actually don't know what it feels like. But I've definitely been like, I think I got it. Did I hit it? I can't tell because I'm like.
I love when you look in the rearview mirror and the squirrel just doesn't goes. Whoom, he makes it through your car. You're like, yeah, buddy. You're like, that's one for both of us.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I was driving home. I used to live out in the country back in Ontario, and I was driving home late at night, and this rabbit got on the highway in front of me, like this country road in front of me, and I was like, fuck, here we go. And I was trying to get out of sync with him on the highway, so I kept turning and weaving, but he kept staying in sync. When I thought I was out, so I can go around him or just whatever, because I couldn't slow down. I tried to slow down, and then I just went boom, boom, like right up its back. I'm like, oh, damn, we both tried. We're both trying super hard to make it not happen.
It's like when you're in person and you're like.
Yeah, like when you're in the village trying to walk around people.
And you have to like eventually just be like, make one direct move.
Yeah.
You know what's so funny? I don't even know why I thought of this. I was telling this story the other day. I was going to. This is so off topic.
That's okay.
So,
whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter.
This is like one of those candid camera. I was talking to these people. It's like, I had one. They were talking about it like, oh, that was like that candid camera moment where like, is someone filming this? This can't be actually
right. I feel like that every day.
Yeah, exactly. So this happened to me, but thank God it was dark. So I was like, I know there's no candid camera because it was on my street too, and we don't have street lights. So I was like, no one can see what's happening except for me. So I had this was a miserable drink that I bought. It was like Palm Bay vodka soda. I said vodka soda, so I thought it was just flavored vodka soda without sugar, but no, it had sugar, and I was like, ugh, disappointed. So I didn't really. I literally. So I drank 3 of them over the course of a very long period of time, and I was going out. I was like, oh, I should bring some drinks. I'll just bring these. They're in a little 6-pack holder. There's only 3 left. I've had them for like 2 years in my fridge. That's how much I didn't want to drink these things. So. So I walk out my house. I get like 25 yards, like not even far, not even that far. I never use yards. I don't even know what yards is. I think I walk too hard. I walk 2 houses down. Is that, I don't know.
That's 2 yards, like people's yards.
Yeah.
Did you mean yards? Is that what you meant, or did you mean like? Oh, okay. You meant like the distance. 25
yards, but I was like the distance. But I'd actually, if someone said like map out 25 yards, it would be like
I wouldn't know.
I wouldn't know actually. I'd just guess. Which I know a yard is 3 feet, but I never use
yard's not quite a meter, or different than a meter, but it's kind of the same.
It's just such a small amount of space. It was basically 2 yards. Let's just say 2 yards,
sure,
2 people's yards.
Yeah.
Anyways, so as I get basically not far away from my house is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
And one of the guys just slips out, and I was like, oh, "Are you kidding me?" It hits the ground. I was like, "Oh shit." No holes, no nothing. I stick it in my pocket and I continue down the road. I get 3 steps and another one falls out. And I was like, oh my God. So I pick it up and it has this tiny hole puncture. I'm like at the bottom too. I'm like, and it's sugary, right? So it's sugary. And I'm like, am I going to have to like drink this? I was like, no, I can hold on to this tiny, it's a pinpoint. I can hold on to it.
Yeah.
And as I'm trying to, I hold on to this, and I had my gloves, and I went to put my gloves in my bag, and the third one falls out of the holder. And it kicks off.
Right.
It's spraying.
It's
spraying, and I'm in a panic. So now I'm holding this one with the pin
right. Like that one matters.
And I go to try to grab it, see if I can save that one too. And I'm like, no, it's true. I've got like pants soaked. Like I do right now. So it's spraying on my ankles. It's sticky. I'm going out. I have like tan colored Vans on, so they're getting stained. I'm like, well, there goes looking like decent tonight. And so I'm like, Oh, so this is all going on in my head at the minute. So as this one kicks off and I'm trying to decide whether to pick it up, it's spraying my ankles. I'm like, I go to bend down and pick it up, and the one that's in my pocket falls out of my pocket and kicks off even more than that.
Really? Now Are you drunk at this time?
I haven't even had a drink.
Oh, okay, right.
This all happens in like the course of 30 seconds. Right. It was like fall, pick up, fall, pick up, fall, and kicking off. And I was just like, you know what? And I couldn't even get near them. I was like, fuck you. And I just walked 25 yards back to my house. Got a couple of drinks, which were other garbagey drinks that I didn't have. There was a Bacardi Breezer, small one, like a Bud Light margarita that's like mango. Like, I don't even know where I got these. There were samples or something. I don't know. You don't argue. Like, maybe someone's going to come over and want this. Maybe I need it. Well, it came in handy when the shitty Palm Bay drinks decided to explode all over me. I just left them. I was like, I don't give a shit. It's 25 years from my house. I'll pick them up tomorrow. I'm pissed off. I didn't have a problem with that, but I went back the next day and someone would clean them. So thank you.
Oh, really?
You know, whoever you were, you got the 15 cents from them. But I was planning on coming back for them. I apologize.
Well, man.
But that's what happened. So that's why they were there.
Those drinks, I don't know. Those Bombays.
Too much sugar.
Fucking gross.
I love sugar, but.
Do you know Charlie Grinnell?
Yeah.
He's got a tattoo of one of them on his feet because remember he's got a tattoo?
No, I have not seen it. I'm going to ask him next time.
I think he's got a Palm Bay tattoo.
They were a big drink for a while.
People were chugging them.
Yeah,
for a long time. They were a big thing.
It was a new when it came out. It was hot. Now people really like the hey y'alls. Everyone's hey y'alling. I'd rather just have like vodka soda.
I just don't. Yeah, the sugary side of things
just makes it gross.
It just makes it feel weird.
I know.
I like sugar. I
love it too, but maybe not in a drink form unless it's like Coke. I like Coca-Cola. Pop. I know people are like, it's disgusting. It's too sugary, but
you have a Hires vodka drink right in front of you right now, and you brought a drink.
King Can. I think they only sell them in King Cans, to be fair.
Yeah, that's.
I really like root beer. I really like root beer. And I remember as a kid, like Hires root beer. It was one of the good ones, but you don't see it a lot, right?
Well, it's like when you go to A&W, you get the frosted glass. I guess you don't go to A&W. I mean, people don't go to A&W.
I don't, but they have this new Beyond Meat burger, which I did try. Good. So now it gives you an option, I guess. But I like a veggie burger anyways. I don't need my burger to taste like meat. It's fine if it does, but I didn't really like that when I ate meat. I didn't really like a big, juicy burger. That wasn't my...
I think
so. A veggie burger is like nice,
so good because you know you're eating vegetables.
Well, and it's just like it's like having a burger. It's like belonging to the burger family, but enjoying it better. So
yeah, I agree.
I'm pretty fussy with food, so
I learned about the Beyond Meat burger at A&W from a vegan friend of mine. We were driving along. I'm like, "What do you want to eat?" And I'm like, "Here we go." We weren't going anywhere.
Yeah.
We're gonna go stop and eat some grass out of the room.
Yeah. So it's hard to eat on the fly.
No offense. I mean, I just want to make a joke, but
no, of course.
He's like, "What about A&W?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "No, the Beyond Meat burger." I'm like, "I don't know what that is," and it's good.
It's good.
The day we went there, we didn't have it because they were out of them. But
they were out for a long time when it first came out. Everyone couldn't get enough.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a lot of vegetarians that just really
love meat.
It's nice to be able to go to a greasy burger. You know, like. You miss going to McDonald's. You remember what McDonald's was like? It was like this like satisfied this itch of like McDonald's fries, maybe a cheeseburger. I used to get a Happy Meal, cheeseburger Happy Meal.
Right.
It was just the perfect amount of food. Even as a teenager, I was
you know what?
I get a toy, I get a little bit of pop, I get a little fry, a little burger.
I think it is a ploy by those chains to get vegans back at the restaurant and back onto meat.
Oh yeah,
this meat. I remember how meat tastes, and then you move into the burger. For me, it's probably cheaper for them to sell you a hamburger. They probably make more money at the hamburger than they make off that veggie burger.
Yeah, for sure.
Because there's usually more.
Yeah. There's usually better things in it. That's why, not just some.
But I think A&W has a good reputation for like having like the better meats. Like they talk about
this is what they advertise. I haven't actually looked into the claims, but if the advertisement is correct, I guess you're not allowed to false advertise for the most part.
Yeah, no, I mean, everybody does. You're not allowed to.
Well, we're talking about root beer, but it went over to the burger.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Anyways, this is actually interesting because I basically hate any liquor drink, like drink with booze that's in soda or pop because I think it tastes like shitty Coke. Like if you have a rum and Coke, I'm like, that just tastes like Coke that tastes like crap.
Ruined it,
yeah. So I don't like to mix them. That's why I like vodka soda. I was like, I don't want anything
Vodka soda's great. Vodka
I used
water.
to do rye and ginger, but I'd rather now just have the rye or Jack or something, just sipping it.
Oh yeah,
with
right. Yeah.
no ice or anything. I'm a Scotch drinker.
Yeah.
I saw you have bottles up here.
That's my roommate.
Oh.
Well, some of them.
That's funny. I almost brought Scotch over, but I was like, it's noon.
You want to try some Japanese whiskey?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
I got a bottle of it up there.
I just saw it. I like Japanese whiskey. I tried it at the Barefoot once.
Oh, really?
Someone else paid. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah. This is Nika, I think it is.
Let's give it a whirl.
Yeah, sure.
I like a Scotch.
All right.
Should I open this Hires root beer so you can try it?
You can do what you want.
Well, do you want to try it? Because could we mix?
Just pour it over here because there's probably a shot left.
Yeah, just pour it in a glass. We can share one glass if you want. Fuck. I made Scotch glasses out of Glade candle holders.
Oh, really?
But now I have Scotch glasses, so. Oh, I don't like ice. Maybe another glass. No, you, okay. You like it? I was like, just do another glass or something.
No,
but
I don't know how, that's all that's in there. I got a bottle of it, but it's for some.
No, that's perfect. We'll have a little Scotch tasting.
Yeah, check it out. It's not the best Scotch actual whiskey from Japan. Yeah, you ever notice sometimes, this is a topic I've heard before, some comedian talked about it, but do you ever notice the taste of ice cubes?
Yeah, I know what you mean. It tastes like the freezer.
Yeah.
It's very nice.
Is it?
I like it.
Yes,
I like all Scotch though. There's hardly any Scotches
You
I
can't
don't
taste
like.
the vodka on that.
That's what I mean.
You
can't taste the vodka in
No.
it. It tastes like a fucking root
You
beer.
could be in trouble for those for sure.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's a lot of sugar, so you can't always. I couldn't have too many.
Could you yeah?
If you like root beer and you don't like vodka taste that much,
Yeah, you
Hires
can't.
root beer.
You can't taste
Local.
the vodka on that.
No, I know, right?
That's crazy.
And I'm pretty picky about it, so
Yeah.
I was like, damn, this is fucking.
Oh, I brought this before too. Have you ever had Blue Monkey? They make the coconut water.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of coconut water.
Okay, have you had their watermelon water?
No.
It's fucking awesome. They make a sparkling one and a regular one. It's 100% just watermelon water. But the carbonated one,
I do like watermelon water.
dude, you put any alcohol in the watermelon sparkling one. It's awesome.
Nice.
You can't get it up here. Creekside sold that for a while, but now it's only in Squamish at like Save-On or whatever. But it comes in like kind of like Red Bull cans.
Yeah. Oh, Red Bull, not like their normal big huge
and
cans.
it's like all natural sugar. There's nothing in it that's other than just like it's
good call.
Awesome. And and they're hydrating.
Well, that's the point.
Yeah.
Vodka soda, you get a little hydration.
Yeah.
But it's important for me. I always have before. Like I went out last night and drank some wines, had some Jameson, and had a little dance. But I kind of woke up a little haggard this morning. I'm not gonna lie, but I always make sure to. I woke up a little haggard because I went to bed at 3 and I woke up at 8:30. I mean, that's not enough time.
5.5, it's not much.
No. So, which I can easily.
If you're not fucking wasted before you go to bed, you can.
Yeah, I wasn't super wasted, but I definitely was sendy. Well, I know I was because I felt it this morning. I was like, oh, yeah, you drank last night for sure. It's harder now. It gets harder. Everyone says it as you get older. It's like, oh, I can't do it anymore. It's like, you can still do it. You just got to be smarter. You got to drink I drink 2 huge glasses of water before I go to bed. Mm-hmm. And then I wake up like at 6 or something, having to pee.
The water thing before bed is legit.
It's vital. People are like, yeah, and aspirin. It's not the aspirin that's doing it. It's the fucking water.
Aspirin? Who the fuck takes aspirin?
I don't know.
Oh, okay, you just said it. Sorry.
I never had aspirin.
You're like 80 on heart
we used to call it Tylenol. Like all painkillers were Tylenol for us because we did use Tylenol, but it's like Kleenex. It's not really Kleenex. But it's tissues. Kleenex is the brand name.
I heard that. I just learned recently that aspirin's in Tylenol.
Aspirin's
or like not aspirin.
Acetaminophen.
Acetaminophen. Is that Tylenol?
Tylenol's acetaminophen. Yeah. I don't know what aspirin is. It's
aspirin
different.
Is acetaminophen too. Aspirin. I'm pretty sure
it isn't. I don't think it is because my mom. I remember aspirin is like it thins your blood.
Yeah,
too.
So you have a heart attack. You chew it.
That's why they say chew it, right? So my mom
doing that every day.
said, "Well, this is going." I think my mom had cramps once or something, and I was like, oh, I got aspirin. Oh no, there's something else, but let's just say it's cramps.
Sure.
She needed she's like, no, you can't have aspirin. It thins your blood. So she didn't want. So that's why Tylenol, which is acetaminophen, was better because it didn't.
Oh, I do.
I don't know.
Whenever I do it,
I just went. They must be different because my mom could have one of the other. So
right. I think they are different because I've been given advice to, if you want to do some pain relief, Advil and Tylenol together. So I usually take one of each when I take them. And
do you recommend?
I recommend. Dr. Proctor recommends.
Dr. Proctor.
I didn't say that on there. I recommend. In my opinion, I don't know. It does, because one's like fever and like swelling and stuff, and one's more pain.
Yeah, so a combination.
And I've heard Advil's
bad on the liver.
Advil, ibuprofen is really bad for your stomach. And I've heard rumors that it can, if you break a bone and you use Advil or ibuprofen, apparently there are studies that show that your bones don't grow as solid for some reason. It affects your bone growth.
The bone density too?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, ibuprofen does. But whatever, man. If it gets rid of my headache, I'll break a leg later.
Headache in my life. I think I had one once.
What? Don't lie.
I know. I swear. I think I had one once because I remember like my head hurt for like maybe 5 minutes. Like it was the only time. Like it. Like I was like, is this a headache?
Oh wow.
Because if this is a headache, I get it. Because I'd be like, well, headache. What is your headache? It must be like people complain about it so much, and I was like, is this what they're feeling right now? Like it was just like this pain, like kind of vice grippy.
Huh.
Is that a headache? I guess maybe everyone has different.
Like,
I've never.
Have you ever had the flu where your eyes hurt when you move them? Like to move your eyes?
No, I don't get sick often. I have a very good immune system.
Oh.
It's very effective. I think it's because I ate gum off the street as a child.
That's 100% why. That is exactly why.
Yeah?
Because they say like...
You need to introduce germs.
Pick your nose, eat it. It's good for your... It's good for
My
your
sister fed me ants and dirty onions. Like I ate dirt a lot. For sure.
Yeah, you probably have an amazing immune system.
Yeah. And then I kept at it by just being an idiot.
You might even have polio, not even know it, because your immune system's keeping it off you.
I swear to God, I never get sick.
Wow.
I did get sick this summer. My friend who has kids, she came over on a flight. She caught something on the flight. Maybe she's like, I think I'm getting sick. I was like, you probably got it from one of your kids, because they're always sick, picking up the worst shit at school. Man. I guess I don't have any, but...
You don't have kids? I thought you had 2 kids.
No.
I'm just joking.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. No. Sorry.
I think I could do it. Don't get me wrong. And I know that
I'd be fine.
Like, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah, but I'm kind of like...
You'd be fine.
I think my personality could... I would definitely go crazy. In fact, one of the very first purchases I would buy would be ear canceling headphones.
No noise canceling.
Babies cry. No noise canceling. Ear canceling.
They chew your ears off while you put them on.
Just like screaming child. I'd be like, I'd have for my own sanity. And you know what's funny? I saw a guy in a car. He was driving in Whistler. He had like Oregon plates, or he was from the States somewhere. And he's driving and he's turning the corner. And I look in, and all I see is he's canceling headphones. Yeah. He's in a minivan. There's like kids in the back. And he's got these
canceling
noise canceling headphones.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I knew I wasn't the only one that would buy this.
Right.
My dad would have had so much sanity if he would have had a pair of those on. We had 3 girls in the back.
Oh yeah. Do you have any brothers, or just all?
I do, but much younger brother.
Oh.
So I have an older sister and younger sister. I'm clearly a middle child.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would never be maybe an older, I guess. I'm a little bit responsible sometimes.
And you have a super younger brother?
Yeah. He was born when I was almost like 5 months before I was 18.
Oh, same parents?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
Yeah. So I hear that sometimes when like parents get divorced and remarried, somebody has like a way younger brother because they get...
Exactly. Yeah. Which I always have to disclaimer that. I was like, I always say I'm like much younger. Same parents.
That's why I asked. I'm like,
parents.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
I don't know what happened.
So, well, that's pretty cool though, because then you get to like, I guess, I don't know how much you see your brother, but I feel like, you're from Ontario, right? No, where are you from? Sorry, I don't want to tell you.
It was actually really sad. Me and him... Another sad story. Me and him were really tight. Like I loved him. I had my older sister. She was kind of on her way out, when he was born. out of the house is what I mean. She was 19 when he was born. And my sister was like going through some shit with, she has some bipolar stuff, whatever. But she's good now. She's really good. But at the time, maybe a little bit of adolescence, maybe a little bit of like mental health stuff, and maybe a little bit of like my brother. She was the baby in the house, and then my brother was born, and there was a little bit of a shift in my mom's attention. I know it sounds ridiculous, but I think there was totally a little bit of that too. She was 13, so it was,
totally matters.
So it's a difficult time.
Yeah.
Anyways, but I just loved him to pieces, and I would just like do all these things. We used to jump on my bed and dance together. But I came out to Whistler, or I came out to visit my cousin, my aunt and uncle. They live in Langley for the very first time. I was in between jobs. I was starting a new job, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go out BC. I'll see my Uncle Morris and Aunt Mina, and my cousin John and David. And John was like my favorite cousin ever. I love him still.
Hi, John.
Love John. And he always, remind me to tell you about John. Anyways.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Now I forgot where I was going with this.
So you came out to visit your uncle and your
So I
aunt,
came out to visit, and I went to Vancouver, and then we went into Vernon, Kalamaka. Sorry, we went to Kalamaka Lake in between Kelowna. We went to Kelowna, and it's in between Vernon and Kelowna. This Kalamaka Lake is like this turquoise lake. It's gorgeous. You're surrounded by mountains. It's 35 degrees out. I'm like jumping in a turquoise lake, and I was like, there's places like this that exist in Canada, and I don't live anywhere near them. I was like, well, that's going to change. And I made my mind, I was like, I'm moving back here in 3 months. And I moved back there in 3 months. And I was like, where am I going to go? Oh, I'll go to Whistler. I think they ski and snowboard there. I always wanted to snowboard as a kid, because I think I remember seeing some like snowboarding on like, or skiing races or something on CBC. Like seriously, we didn't ski or snowboard in my family. I was like, I always wanted to snowboard when I was a teenager, but it wasn't something that was really affordable in my family.
Right.
I mean, when I found out the prices of stuff, I was like, there's no way I can ask my parents for this. So I never did. And to be fair, I never asked them. So that's on me. But I was like, I have money. I can buy my own shit. I'm going to move out to Whistler. Rad.
That's cool.
And that's the reason I moved out, to learn how to snowboard.
But then you said your brother, the whole point of you talking was like you're saying your brother and you stopped hanging out as much, something like that, and you're like, it's kind of sad.
Because I moved. Sorry, I went way left.
That's okay.
Thanks for bringing me back.
No worries.
So he was 5 years old. So I decided to move out. Yeah. I was like, I'm moving out. And I was like, that was the hardest thing to leave.
Yeah.
Like my friends, it was like, I'll see you again. But my brother, it was like, he was 5, and I have this picture of him. I had a bunny at the time too, and he's just on my bed with this sad look on his face, and he's holding the bunny because I'm about to give the bunny away, and he's got to say goodbye to the bunny, knowing that he's got to say goodbye to
losing
me.
Everything.
And, oh my God, I have this picture. My mom says he was never the same after.
I was gonna say you probably changed his life forever.
I know, and it devastates me because I wish I was there. And he had some problems with bullying in school. And I wasn't there for that. I don't think
you wouldn't have dealt with that.
I wanted to burn down the school. I'm not kidding.
You would have.
That was a thought. I was like, if you don't get him out of this school, I'm gonna go burn that thing down. I was like, if I lose my brother over this, and I can't even be there, I will.
Imagine your big sister, who's 18 years older than you, comes to defend you at your school. Man, I'd be like, sorry.
Yeah, if I would have known, let me tell you, I would have. I would have moved home for a certain amount of time so I could fucking be there at lunch and recess, and I would just stand there. Like, I would beak off. I swear. I probably get kicked off the property, but the fact that they ended up having to, he was at that school his whole life. Yeah. He was at the school for his whole life, and he left the school 2 months before he graduated because he couldn't take it anymore. And I was like, that long? I don't know how long he dealt with it, but maybe it was like later on in life. I don't think it was that bad when he was a kid. Like, he was just. The thing with my brother is that he grew up with adults in the house. He didn't grow up with any kids.
Of course, for sure.
You know, by the time he was 5, my sister was like 18. I was 18 when he was born, you know.
That would be an interesting.
So he just, you know, and he would always leave we were like, stay, but he just didn't have like a kid So he's always been a bit more like
independent, I guess, or something.
Independent, but more mature in his thinking, I guess. And so there's a lot like he doesn't drink, he doesn't do any like he just.
That's good.
Yeah, whatever. But like he has no. He's like I don't like it when people drink. He just always has a more mature outlook.
Wow.
So he has an older girlfriend. She's 5 years older than him.
Yeah, he's that's the kind of thing where like they talk about like some guys marry their moms.
Yeah, you know, like they say the same thing about girls and dads.
Marry their dads, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, the Oedipus or the
I don't know.
It's an Oedipus complex or something. So I'm getting it wrong, but there's something like that.
Yeah, I've heard that.
It's when you look for the same qualities in your partner that you see in your father.
Right. It's kind of like, have you ever heard of this? Is way off. Have you heard of Stockholm syndrome?
Yeah, I've heard of this.
Yeah, where you start to like fall in love with your captor, or like they were like. Yeah, but it's like you get kidnapped or you're in POWs, you start to like feel like you're.
That's in fact my ploy. If I ever get in a situation like that, so you got to think about things. When
you know what that could be. So you do it. You pretend you have it,
yes,
and then you stab that guy in the fucking neck.
Okay. You might have to play the long game if it's a serious situation. And I'm not saying that every situation would turn out that way, but that's my ploy. I'm like, I am honest. I was like, you know what, in any situation, some crazy guy kidnaps you and he wants to, rape you and murder you. Who knows? Maybe he wants to keep you for a while. If you have to play the long game, like play along. And you know what? I don't know. Hopefully it'll work out. I know this is a weird conversation, but I think about a lot of different things that could happen.
It's like the bear attack. You either run or you play dead.
You got to prepare sometimes for, so when it happens, you can, but even with the bear, like I said, but when it happens, you kind of freak out. But that kind of situation, Stockholm situation, if some guy had me in a bank robbery, man, I would be like, I've been waiting to do this to this bank forever.
Like in a bank,
do you need a hand? I can be the person you can count on. And I'd be the first one to shoot that guy in the back of the head, for sure.
Yeah.
I would be acting up a storm.
I would love to be caught in a bank robbery somehow.
I kind of would
I don't want to get murdered.
No. And I don't want anyone else to have trouble. And I don't want him to get away with that.
I kind of want them to get away with it.
I want the experience.
I kind of want it all to work out for everybody.
Same with an earthquake.
The robbers get away with it. The bank gets their insurance for the money.
You want them.
I stay alive, and the robbers, and I can think about it. Man, those robbers have like that renegade lifestyle, like they're on the run now, right? And they make it.
That's nice. That's a nice way. I would want to catch that person, so I'd be like, well,
personally, selfishly, I would want to catch them. Like, I'm the man of kindness.
Yeah.
But if I couldn't, and I was cowering in the corner because they were like, I'm going to murder you. I'm like, cool, don't do that. But
don't look at me.
As long as they don't gun someone down and get away. If it's like a amicable split in the robbery.
If the best thing that happens is everyone gets away with their lives, then that's fine.
Yeah, someone takes an elbow or gets offended emotionally.
But if there's a different plot line where I get to be the hero, I'd like that.
I'd probably take it.
I'd take it.
Like the gun slides across the floor and you just grab it because he tripped and you're like.
And it's not to get the fame; it's just to be like. The story. You want that story for your life collection.
Yes, when you go to a podcast,
it's a good collection.
When you go on a podcast, you're like, I have a story to tell you. And you spend an hour talking about how you saved a robbery or you stopped a robbery.
I would talk about that story all the time.
Yeah.
But you know how people get.
What if they said, we'll give you $25,000 if you help us get out of the situation? Or say no. Say they give you $250,000. They say, help us get out of the situation. And you know you won't get caught. They're like.
And no, I won't get caught. I'd take it. Without it out.
They hand you a mask and a gun. They're like,
I have to be part of it. I thought you said help us out of the situation. Like if I was in the bank and they were like, listen, if you help us do this thing, we'll give you money. I'd be like, and no one's going to catch me.
But that's, sorry, I would do it. That's what I said.
I wouldn't join the party and be like, fuck yeah, bitches. No.
But if you just like hold the door open kind of like with your foot and they can get out without getting busted and you get $250,000 for it.
I would definitely take if I knew I wasn't going to get caught, absolutely.
Right.
They were going to give me some money, and all I had to do was hold the door open for them. I fucking would.
I think for how many times I've used a bank machine, I've given them $250,000 probably in fees. So I'll just take that back.
I'm kind of cheap. I try to always go to my bank to take money out.
I am impulse only.
Oh.
So I just here you go.
Yeah, you just throw it away.
Yeah, I left you $20 in the hallway if you want money.
I take the bus home a lot. Well, I was living in Rainbow, and I look at it. I'm like, it's like $18. The cab ride, like it's like 14 maybe with tip. I'm like, it's almost $20 for a cab ride home, and I can pay $2.50 to be patient. But sometimes you just can't wait for the bus. But I almost always wait for the bus.
In the village drinking, getting home situation, I am 90% bus.
Yeah, me
for
too.
sure, all the time. I'll go into town. I'll go into town on the bus because I know what's going to happen. Yeah, cabs are too much. And
but you're out far away too. Yeah. You're not close.
$25. Yeah. I'm always like, I got it, because I'm always. For some reason, when I get drunk, I'm like just take my money. So, and then
I am the opposite.
I'm like
frugal all the time.
I'm like, everyone's in the cab, everyone's getting dropped off. I'm like, I got it, don't worry, because I'm always the last one to get dropped off.
Yeah.
So I end up paying the whole bill. That's how it stings. But
yeah, that's why I don't take a cab, because there's always someone that I was in Rainbow. I was like, I'm going to be the last one. And I'll be like, usually people are pretty good. They're like, I'll pay it to here. And then they're like, I'll pay it to here. So usually you get off with a pretty cheap cab ride. So that's sometimes okay to do. But still, God, I hate paying taxi fares. The taxi drivers are great. I know a lot of them, and I don't mean to take away their business. That's not what I'm saying. I know I'm not. In fact, it's busier than ever, right?
Do you like? I like taking cabs in cities I've never been to before. Like if I go, I love getting in a cab in a random city. Like if I go to if I'm on vacation or I go somewhere cool, Ubers and cab rides I think are great.
No, don't like them.
In different cities, like if you're in New York,
I walk.
Sure, I do too. But if it's like getting from the airport to somewhere,
I take the transit. I always take the cheapest route.
Sure. Okay. Cool. Yeah.
Unless it's like impossible. But I went to New York to see my friend Gus, and I got I think it was Newark it was.
Right, New York Airport.
Yeah. So I had to figure out how to get into I don't know, New York downtown, right. Manhattan.
Sure. Yeah, Manhattan. I guess, sure, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
From there on the transit, so it took a while, but I did it.
That's cool. That's a bit of an accomplishment.
Yeah, because it's like I could pay a cab and be in. I always see New York traffic looks like terrible.
It's horrible.
I'm like, why am I want to pay for the privilege of sitting in that? I'd rather move.
I talk to the cabbie all the time.
I do talk.
I'm like,
when
can
I'm
I sit in the front? And
I sit in the front too. If it's
like,
just me.
Yeah. I'm like, yeah. Can we sit in the front? Yeah. But I sit in the front and I talk to them all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't.
Just about anything.
Because it's fucking awkward if you're in the back seat and not saying anything.
I feel it's so servicey.
Yeah, you're like, drive me here. Like I feel like you got to talk to them.
Sometimes I feel bad because I'll open the front door and they have their lunch there or whatever. I'm like, oh, it's okay. I'll sit. I'll move. No. Then you get in the back. But I don't never force myself upon the front. But I would never hop in the back.
Which makes
if it was just me.
Makes me feel strange because I feel like I don't feel strange. I don't know why I just said that, but I feel it's strange because why wouldn't you want to sit in the front? Like
yeah, but then people are like, I don't know this person. I want to sit beside them. People like to create space.
Sure, they don't
want to talk. There's not a lot of people that want to talk.
No,
not as many.
If they maybe the cab's like, fuck, another front seat sitter. Damn it.
I know. I bet you they are.
And they probably put that stuff there as like a
barrier.
Prop. Yeah,
it's like a pot. Next time, just put a pylon.
I gotta move my slow cooker. You're like, okay, cool. The way, yeah. I don't know. I like taking the cab, but I don't mind the bus for sure. I don't like
the bus.
I'll still call.
I don't like it. I hate it. In fact, but
usually when I'm on the bus, I have a beer in my pocket.
Oh, really? I never do. I'm just like swerving around, just being like, ugh. Having to go through Alpine. I hate Alpine. I said it out loud.
Oh, because it goes up and around.
There's a lot of things about Alpine I don't like.
I used to live there.
I don't like how they were voted best neighborhood all the time. You know why they were voted best neighborhood all the time? They retired them from the Peak Award, the Peak best of.
Really?
They said Alpine wins all the time. Alpine wins all the time because it's massive. It's huge. I have to go through that bloody thing on the bus, and that's just the bus route that goes through there, not where it is. There's so many people that live in Alpine. It gets voted because that's how many people live in Alpine. Alpine sucks.
Have you ever lived in Alpine?
No. You know what?
I have, and it's great.
You know what pisses me off about Alpine the most? I lived in Rainbow, so for 2 years, 2.5 years, I dealt with this problem. So you're cooking down. It's a little bit of a hill.
Yeah.
And the old yield sign that's at the highway where Alpine goes in, where the market is.
Oh, yeah.
There's a yield sign there. You might not think it is because no one ever fucking yields there.
Oh,
they just use it because there's the bus lane there. So they have this what appears to be a merge lane, but it's not a merge lane. It's the bus lane.
Right.
The bus goes into that, picks up people. The only reason it's as big as that is because of the bus. So people use it as a merge lane.
When it's not.
And there's a yield sign completely there. You don't start trying to merge in because then some fucking asshole, I'm sorry, who's ever in our lane decides to brake and let them in. I'm like, no, man. They got to wait until it's clear. That's it. And they do it all the time. And I just think if I was a cop in Whistler, it would give me no more pleasure than to bust all the people in Alpine that don't yield and use it as a merge line. Now, my second thing about this is people that don't use merge lines appropriately.
Oh, yeah.
There's no yield sign and they're waiting there. It's like, this isn't a yield sign. It's a merge sign. Out of Rainbow, you know, if you're going out of Rainbow toward the Village, that's not a yield. You see cars, it doesn't matter. You have a lane to merge in, you zip her in. If there's a huge line of cars, you got to wait. But
the only thing I say is I agree with you on all things except for people that don't move out of the way of the merge lane. Like, they don't acknowledge the merge lane. So, like, I don't want you to stop on the highway, but, like, you know when say it's a 2-lane highway. Yeah. And you're merging onto that 1 lane. And people don't move over to give the merge lane room to go.
Yeah. You have to zip her in, but this is the key. When you're driving in the merge lane.
That's a good saying. I've never heard that before. Zipper in? That's awesome.
What?
Sorry. Zipper in?
Yeah. That's the whole point.
I've never heard that before.
You zip her in. That's exactly how it works.
Okay.
So if it's your turn, like getting on the Lions Gate.
We're all working. We're all together.
Everyone knows it's one car.
Yeah,
one car.
I get that. We're all here together. We got to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly. But
stopping an emergency.
Stop trying to. If there's a yes, oh my God, it drives me crazy. Because outside, when you used to go north from Lorimer, there used to be a yield sign there, but then they made a merge lane, and it still takes people still stop at that. I'm like, it's a merge lane.
Where is this?
Going onto the highway north from Lorimer. There used to be a yield sign there, so you had to yield to traffic.
The one that's by Nestor's? Like that intersection?
No,
there?
not Nestor's. Lorimer.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
And the Lorimer and the highway.
Yep.
Yeah. So you used to just have to, but then they created a merge lane, so you zip her in. It took, you know how long it took for people. Now it's like.
Sounds like they never.
Like it happens a quarter of the time where some assholes like, yielded there. It was like a submerge. You have 200 meters to zip her in. Get going.
Man, I think Worcester traffic is hilarious because you know what I think is the worst is when you come out of Creekside and you're going south and someone is hauling ass in that right lane.
Oh yeah.
And then turns back into Creekside and everyone's like, holy shit, and they don't realize that they're going 80 by the time they're like,
you know that they don't know.
Yeah.
And know when they don't know.
I was like, let's just gotta put a sign up or like something where it's like one of those like even over the road signs, like, because I've seen so many like
near misses.
Yeah, like, and I'm like, holy shit. And so I know it's coming.
Yeah.
But sometimes I'll go that way through Creekside to get out without going out by the Creekside lights. I'll go out to that kind of merge lane.
Yeah.
And then people don't stop for you. They shouldn't, but it's kind of short. But people coming down that merge lane at like 80, and then they realize they have to turn hard right into Creekside again by accident. Yeah. It's sketchy, man.
Yeah.
That one's probably the worst. I don't know.
I have so many traffic annoyances in Whistler.
Oh, man.
People that go under 60, if it's not snowing. I'm not talking when it's snowing. Right. If you're going under the speed limit and it's 60, like, you're hurting.
You got to be 100.
No, like, you don't have to go 100.
Listen, you've got to be 100 years
old.
Oh,
yeah. You got to be on the mark. 60 is slow enough.
Pretty slow, yeah. You could hit someone, they'll probably bounce off your hood and be fine. It's 60.
Yeah, like, well, you certainly can brake.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Yeah, right. You know what drives me up the wall is when you get past Tamarisk and it goes to 80 and no one does.
Oh, that drives me crazy.
It's mostly downhill. Fucking left the brake.
Man, when someone's going 60 and you're like, it's 80. Yeah. We're trying to get out of town here.
So my thing is I need one more 80 sign. When you pass that bus, you go past the lights. Yeah. And there's that bus stop right there.
Yeah.
There should be an 80 sign.
Right there, because it's a little far back.
Yeah, and then the next one's like down the hill more or whatever. So that one's fucking annoying. Because
that drives me crazy too.
Yeah. We're just bitching about traffic.
I know, but there's a lot of. I'm glad we talked about it. It was kind of something I was like, I'm going to bring up traffic if I can, because
for sure.
That Alpine stuff. If anyone watches this,
but I'll tell you though,
please agree with me.
Yeah,
and if you're from Alpine and you do it, I'm not a fan of yours. That's all I'm saying.
I like Alpine. I lived there for a while. I like it because there's never any. There's obviously traffic, but when I live south of the village, I appreciate the
north.
fact.
Once you go north, you can't go south. If you've gone south, it's like
I went south. And I have to go north.
But you went south a long time ago before it got as bad as it does now. Like
now
it's bad.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, there's so many cars.
And it's like deceiving because it doesn't get backed up till right before, like it's kind of out of sight. So I turn out of my road here, going to the highway. I take a right. I'm like, oh, it looks great. And I'm like,
oh
stop.
yeah, like
before Tamarisk.
Yeah. Like Spring Creek area.
Yeah.
Sometimes, and when it's there, you're like, great.
Yeah. Then
you're like just hoping to get to West Side Road so you can.
But honestly, it actually isn't that bad in timing.
It is, and it seems like it's going to be longer than it actually is.
It might be 10, 15 minutes. It's not. But then it was like, it took me half an hour. You're like, no, it probably didn't.
Yeah, it just felt like that.
I exaggerate for a joke as well too a lot, and that's what I do. But
yeah, well, I thought I was gonna, because I didn't know how to judge coming here.
Yeah, of course.
So I was like, I think it's 15 minutes. I feel like 15 minutes is good from basically the village or Nestor's to here.
But it was less.
It took me 6 minutes because I was like, I guess 12 o'clock on a Sunday. I was like, everyone's either on the hill, they haven't left yet, and no one's working.
Sometimes, so Jack and I, the mayor, were talking about this, and we were talking about traffic and stuff. We're talking about congestion. He's like, most of the congestion, he's like, half of it is locals.
Yeah.
And I was
single
like, no,
drivers.
I'm like, no way. He's like, you're wrong. He proved me wrong on air, and I was just kind of talking shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's people just like me and my roommate going one person in a car to the village.
Yeah.
But there's no other option. It's one road. What? Like, there's no other.
No, but now that they're doing that one bus that stops just on the highway, maybe that'll help. Because that was the annoying thing. I don't want to go through Alpine. People like, when I lived south of the village, going through Nordic used to drive me crazy. Nordic's nothing compared to having to go through Alpine before you get home.
So here's what I'm saying. So I live south. Nordic drives me nuts. That's what it's going into function. You live north, and Alpine drives you nuts.
Well, when I lived in Bayshores, Nordic drove me nuts.
Yeah.
There was nothing I loved better than cruising past Nordic. You didn't realize it wasn't going in Nordic. You're like,
you need to move to Brio.
Oh, well, White Gold is better than Brio.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You live in White Gold now.
Just subletting, but White Gold's
I lived there my first 2 days in Whistler.
It's the highlight reel. Yeah. It's so close to the village. It's flat, more or less. There is a little bit of a slight.
It's pretty flat,
but it's flat. So it's like the Netherlands of Whistler. Wow. When you have to hike up any hill in every neighborhood, there's always some sort of incline. Flat.
Netherlands is flat, really, eh?
What?
Netherlands is flat?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's like it's not, maybe not completely flat, but it's low lying.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I always call it.
I'm not trying to.
It's flat, but it's always. I think of the tulip fields and stuff, but it's like low lying too, so it's under sea level, so it's like runs downhill a
really?
bit. But it's like there's no hills, hardly. Like people that live in, it's a sliding. Yeah, it is, because
so
when you
cross-country
bike
skiing
to the village, it's a lot harder than when you're coming home.
Oh, okay, right.
But no, it's awesome. And it's small. It's like compact. It's right near the ball diamond. I like to play ball in the summer, so you just whip right there.
What league do you play in?
I play B and C.
You play B and C?
Yeah.
Fancy.
What I used to. Sorry.
What nights are those?
Monday and Tuesday, back to back. It's kind of, I'd rather not, but I don't like playing A because they're pretty serious, and I don't know. I don't have enough confidence in my abilities. I hate it when I mess it up for the team, so I don't like to put myself in that position because all the girls are very like consistent, and I'm not a very consistent ball player.
I play an F.
I'll make a sick catch and then like completely flub up easy, an easy one, you know.
You don't want to set your expectations too high, because if you do, then everyone's expecting you to do really well.
I expect them out of me, and I get down and I start kicking the grass, and I'm like, sorry, I get so upset. So being an A, like, no. Sometimes I get asked to help, because a lot of times there's always teams that need girls. Exactly.
Yeah, that's a shame, because I play on a team in F League, and every once in a while we're short girls.
All the time. Even on F League. F Leagues is better though. Like E and F, because they use it kind of as like drinking.
Well, it's Friday night for us.
Exactly. So
and I don't like. I mean, I like drinking and stuff, but I don't care if we win or lose. I don't want to be. I'll try hard while I'm playing.
Yeah.
But I used to play. I think I played in like D League back in the day with like Corey and those guys. Like, I don't know what team that was, but
I played with Corey on a team, and it was B, and that was way above my pay grade.
I think maybe for sure. I think that was that was a long time ago, right?
A long time ago, yeah.
Yeah, but he's back at ball now, right?
He was last season.
Yeah, good for him. That's cool. Yeah, I play F League, and it's Friday nights. No one shows up.
It's drinking and
I don't
and
mind.
fun. You know what? It's usually pretty fun. The only thing that drives me a little bit.
We're talking about slow pitch. If anybody's worried.
Oh yeah,
not worried, but worried.
Drives me a little bit bonkers when. Yeah, I don't know. Drives me crazy when you play in some of the lower leagues because they usually you can get some good offense, but the defense is really bad. So it's just like 5 runs.
Everyone's getting
5
mercy.
runs,
Yeah.
5 runs. Because after you get 5 runs,
It's mercy rule.
Yeah, the mercy rule. So you switch teams.
It's
3 strikes out or 5 runs until you get to the 7th, and then it's an open. You can do as many as you want.
But then no one gets as many.
But if no one has any defense, it's just like, you're rolling your head. Like,
oh man, it's.
I'm
brutal.
not saying I'm the best defense, but when you play with people that have like those skills, you're like, yeah, an out. I didn't have to do anything.
Good play.
I didn't have to do anything, and we got an out. I love that feeling.
It's really
feels
great.
good when you have to get them.
When you have a good play, people are like, yeah. And I think it's awesome in like in F League because there's very few good plays. Mm-hmm. So when you get a good play, you stand. A
good hit or a good play, exactly. Like
you hit a home run in F League, you're like,
someone catches the ball that doesn't normally catch the ball. Everyone's like, all right.
Yeah, you can just end the game there.
Out.
Yeah, end the game there. Yeah, we don't care if we lose. Yeah. I like playing baseball. It gives me something to look forward to during the week.
I love it.
Cool.
I do love it, but I love it, but it's like a love-hate because I want to be better than I am, and I can't get better.
I think I'm getting worse.
I think I am
the more
too.
I play, the worse I get.
You know what? You start out the season good because you're not really sure what you got, and then you're cranking balls, and then all of a sudden it just, for me, peters out to where I can barely squeak. Like I'm a fast runner, so like I can turn like crappy grounders sometimes into a base hit, so I get on. But you know, it's not that saying I'm a good hitter. Sometimes I get a really good one, but you never know when they're coming. They're rare.
It's a pretty fun. It's so funny how it's slow pitch and it's kind of hard, but it's fucking easy as shit. Like,
yeah,
it's kind of, I don't know. I like when people get super frustrated on it, like they're furious. Like
everyone has teams, especially when you get in the upper leagues. People get really chirpy.
They freak out.
Yeah, there's some like yelling battles all the time.
Do you do anything else? What else is there? Do you play like? Really, no other organized league for adults or like people who are. Old?
Well, there's soccer. There's a.
Is there adult? Is there like?
Yeah, I used to play that, but then like it started to get a bit aggressive. Like people were getting like broken bones and stuff, and I was like, I got like smoked by some guy, and they'd be like, "Well, why are you playing?" It's like it's a co-ed league. Like we're just playing together. It's just for fun.
That's brutal.
And they'd be like, "Well, if you want to be out here," I was like, "That's not, So I was just like, you know what? I'm going to soft pitch. Never look back.
People take things seriously around here.
Yeah, sports are always. I can get that because when you're playing a competitive sport, and if you're a competitive person, you're going to play with, your heart a bit, but you need to not be a dick as well. So if you're like the kind of person that's always like riled up and be like, no, that's what like just let shit roll off your back a bit. It's a beer league. We're just trying to have fun. You don't need to slide tackle like a girl.
Totally. But man, I've seen people get worked by accident. Like,
that happens all the time, and they know it's an accident. You know when it's an accident. You know when someone's just being malicious. I think.
Yeah, or they want to win.
Yeah.
Athletes, everyone's too drunk. They don't pay attention. Everyone gets hurt.
Yeah.
What else? What do you do? I don't touch you so long. What do you do for work?
Oh yeah, this is something we could talk about.
Can I ask you that?
Yeah, I do.
Normal work.
I do massage therapy.
Okay, I knew
now
that.
I have to disclaimer this. I am not a registered massage therapist. Right. I went to school in Whistler, where they had a school for about 5 years under a guy named Richard. His first name's Richard.
Yeah.
Anyways, he ended up selling the company into a spa that's no longer in business in Whistler. And, but I went to school to be a massage therapist in 2007. So I've been doing it for 11 years. Okay. So I'm not registered, but that doesn't mean I'm not fantastic.
Yeah. What is it? What is registering? What does that take?
Well, it's just... you
have to pass a test?
Now, yeah, it's a pretty intense school, actually. It's 2 years, like intensive.
Fully, right.
Yeah, so it's 2. It used to be 3, but now they've condensed it to 2. So you basically go to school for 2 years almost straight. You have like little 2-week and 3-week breaks here and there, but it's like few years. Well, now it's about $29,000.
Oh, wow.
For this course.
Right.
So if I would have done that course when I did it, I would have done it. So people are always saying to me, why don't you go back and go for your RMT? And I was like, it's not worth the money for me because I've been doing it long enough. I'm not saying that I know how to do their job, but if I'm going to spend $30,000, I'm going to learn something else.
Yeah. And it seems like
I'd learn something else. I'm not going to learn something I feel I do already.
And there's no
really
way to
well.
there's no equivalency exam, like some way like pass the bar exam with just your current experience, right?
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, you could maybe challenge the test,
That's what I mean,
and stuff, but like it's a lot of you need
probably
to know
tons of anatomy, so you have to learn.
You need to know a lot of stuff,
Yeah,
like pathologies, and it's not just about putting your hands on someone and knowing what to do. It's you got to know all the contraindications for any kind of illness or disease that someone might have. Like it's pretty full on, and they deserve their accreditation for sure. And I don't take that away, but it doesn't mean that I'm not good. So anyways,
no, that's cool.
I work at I don't know, should I say where I work?
Well, you can do what you want. It doesn't matter.
I work at a hotel in a spa at a hotel.
That's
in
full
town.
time. It's full time.
Well, yeah, full time is like 4 days a week for me.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome.
Well, I should probably work more, but I just like having 3 days off, and if I can do it, why not?
Yeah, of course.
I could make more money though.
That's your gig. That's your only gig.
You make more money, you got to pay more taxes, right? But that's what I do.
Right, nice.
So this is funny because I was thinking like, I should probably talk about some things with massage that drive me crazy.
You can. I don't know shit about it. You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, because just not even drive me crazy, but just weird things about massage that maybe people don't know about. Like
down, sure, chat.
And so now I'm trying to think of like,
have you done a massage like the most? This is the most famous person. Is there anybody?
Who is
any come your way?
Famous person? I worked in London for a bit, and I know I massaged some model, but I didn't know who it was, and but she was kind of someone, but I don't know who it was. But I remember looking it up, and her face was a lot of places, but it wasn't like a Naomi Campbell or anything.
Right. Okay. Cool.
I also massaged my very favorite massage I ever had, actually, to do. And I'll give you a reason. He was a hockey player, and he played for St. Louis Blues. They were in town doing like a
hockey thing.
Yeah, that they do in town sometimes. And the reason he was the best massage was because he was like a good sized chap, like 6 something, like they are these days. Yeah. But I'd never massaged a professional athlete. And not a professional athlete that got paid as much as these probably people do. So they, of course, get massages and physio all the time. Yeah. That's part of their job. So he was super built, like very strong guy, but everything was like soft and flowing, and it was like the easiest. Right. I didn't even have to. It was just like nice to touch.
It's like raking a lawn been raked before.
It was like exactly. It was just go and put my hands over that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Well, this is just. Yeah. It was just a really enjoyable massage. And I had another guy that was similar. I remember asking him, I was like, did you ever play any professional sports or anything? He's like, well, or I said, did you ever play any sports? Thinking that he probably was a hockey player. And he said, I used to play hockey, but I don't know at what level. I don't know if he was maybe someone, he was older, like 50 or something. Right, but okay. Yeah, no, he had a pretty good, but like my very, I'm sorry if you have this body type, but my least favorite massage to massage someone is a bird, I call them.
Super bony?
Super bony, very petite women.
Right.
Which you get a lot of in Whistler. You get some.
You're like, what am I massaging here? Like nothing.
It's just that it's so small. You have to like there's landmarks of fucking bones everywhere. You have to realize it's just like bones, and you kind of have to like navigate the small little pathways of muscles that they want a deep tissue on. You're like, deep tissue.
If you want to come for massage,
but I don't want any elbows or anything.
If you want to come for massage, beef up.
They just want you to deep pressure with all your fingers, like you have nothing else to do for the rest of your day but destroy your fingers on your bone field.
I'm going to touch the table through your back if I keep
it's bad when you have to concentrate so much. It's so annoying.
How many can you do a day? I feel like it's pretty exhausting work because you put all your pressure in your arms and stuff.
Well, and it's exhausting, but you also do it the next day too, so you gotta realize. But I work out a bit, so I have to say, since I've been working out, it's a lot easier to I could do it before, muscle, but it's not even more muscle. It's just they're stronger. So
Right.
Like, yeah, I guess I built up my muscles, but I was pretty strong before.
Yeah.
But now it's just, they work better.
Right.
So I don't get so sore.
Right.
But I can do like 5. I don't like to do more than 5 in a row. And that's
a
like,
lot.
They'll do like an hour and then you have 15 minutes in between. But the 15 minutes is like when you stop, you leave the room, you wash your hands, you wait for them to come out, you give them water, you walk them down the hall, you come back, you make your room, you set it all up, get your oils prepared, go up, meet the client, bring them back. Like that's your 15 minutes off in between. And some places only have 10. Like I'm like, I don't know how you do it.
I'm not running around.
Oh,
do
God,
you find
panic?
Yeah, like right now I'm dealing with some tendonitis in my arms.
Oh, yeah.
And do you find that the repetitiveness must do that to you? Like you must have...
You get sore every now and again, but I liken it to like a marathon runner. Like they can run marathons. It's no sweat. It's like a marathon. People can run a marathon in like 2 hours. Like that's...
Psychos.
That's crazy. So for me, yeah, exactly. It's, if you like running that much, I mean, if you
running's
like
pretty
it,
good, but yeah.
I don't like it. Though I did...
a bar stamp on your hand right now? Sorry, go ahead.
I went out to Tommy's last night randomly. I was on my way home.
Yeah, sorry.
I swear to God, but no, I was on my way home.
Right. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I apologize.
No, it's fine. I went out to dinner because my friend, my coworker at the massage place, she met this man when she went traveling, and they kind of had this connection. She met him over there. He came over here. Boom. They're like super like into each other, and then now he's come back for a second visit. So now we want to meet him, of course. So she wants us to meet her special guy. So we went out to dinner, and then we ended up going to Brandy's after dinner. And then they decided to go home. So I was walking with them to the cab loop because they live in White Gold where I'm staying. Yeah. And I saw a friend outside of Tommy's, and well, the rest was
history. It's been renovated, so I might as well go and check it out.
Oh, you're going in there. I haven't seen you in a while, Alice. Let's go in. And then, because I knew obviously my friend Dre was DJing. So I was like, oh, I'll say hi to Dre. It'll be fine. And then he played some Latin music, which I'm really into right now. Yeah. Like reggaeton. They have a reggaeton night.
Oh, yeah.
Here. And
Jeff is talking about that. Jeff Boak's sending me messages about that.
Oh, I've gone to both of them. They've only had 2.
Oh, really?
The first one was good. I was hooked, but I wanted like I listened to the music a bit. I went to Peru and Colombia, and I really liked the beat. Like I love dancing, so for me, good music is essential. Yeah. And that's a good music, so I can dance however I want to dance. It's so good. Yeah. So I really enjoy Latin music. So I went, and I didn't really know the songs, and I thought I was going to know more of the songs because I was like, I kind of know a lot of the current songs. It's kind of like pop music, right? But Latin. Yeah. It's their kind of pop music. But it has a better beat than ours. Yeah. For sure.
Canadian Latin music.
Yeah. So I kind of like had some suggestions for Garf's. I was like, okay, listen. Oh, so
they had Garf's?
Yeah, it's at Garf's.
Okay.
So after the first one, I was like, there's just so many songs that like are really a bit more like bouncy and fun. Like there were some songs he played kind of like Latin trap music that I was like, no, this isn't the stuff. Like
Latin
for me,
trap.
Yeah, it's so, like,
sounds
can you imagine like, it's going like that, but it's like saying like Spanish words, so you don't even know what they're saying. Though in like trap music, you don't even know what they're saying. Yeah. You're like, why are you even saying words?
I make words.
Friga, you know, like you're like, what are you talking about? So it's the same. Maybe it's even less annoying because you don't know what they're saying. Because honestly, if you listen to reggaeton music, the lyrics are horrific.
Oh, I'm sure.
They're just very like sexualized and just kind of gross, even like weird. You're like, why are you talking about this? But the beat, baby. That's what you go for. So the fact that I don't understand it, it plays in its favor for sure.
That's funny.
That's
why you were at Tommy's.
Yeah. So we. I'm
just joking.
We already finished that. I just popped in. Yeah. But we went to the reggaeton night because I love this music. So then, I was talking to Garps. So I was like, listen, don't play those trap songs anymore because the crowd wasn't into them and they're not really that great. Play the more bouncy, fun reggae. And he's like, do you have some examples? So I was like, yes, I do. Yeah. So he says, send us a Spotify playlist. Like, I'm not saying like send your Spotify list, but like he can download better quality songs. And I was like, I'm really technologically poor.
Right.
I think that's the best way. I have no idea how to do the simplest things that everyone knows how to do. I don't have Spotify, but I have it for free. Yeah, so I just use it for free, but I don't make playlists because I'll just find a playlist on there. I'm not fucking around with that. I don't care enough.
Whatever, yeah.
So I'm like, no, that sounds like a lie. So I just decided to just find all the songs that I have in my own like Spotify, find them and then listen to other songs, go through a couple like Columbia Top 50, things that I like. Maybe go to like a certain artist that I like and find this. Oh yeah, I love that song. That song's good too. That song. Yeah. So I wrote them all out on a fucking piece of lined paper.
What?
Took a picture. In a pen. Took a picture of them and then sent them to Garth on that. That's my correspondence.
You mailed it to them?
I must. Yes, I must have.
Where'd you get a stamp?
Could have. Right. Stamps are 80 cents right now. Let me say. Like I remember them being like 43 cents when I was a kid. So the postage is going up.
Well, because they're always on strike. They gotta. That's
because their jobs are going out. But they're not, because people are still buying online. It's busier than ever. It's just not paperless as like bills and stuff.
Yeah, you stand like letter, but that's funny because it's almost cheaper to use like FedEx or Purely than it is to use Canada Post.
Is it? I don't mail a lot.
I don't mail a ton.
I don't have much mail.
Female all the time, but I don't mail much. But that's a bad joke. But
I was just like, I'm not going to acknowledge that one. You brought that one on yourself.
No, but I don't mail all the time. But I think I do when I feel like it's no cheaper to go with Canada Post. And I feel like it should be for some reason.
Yeah, I think so too.
Maybe it shouldn't. It's the same price. Fuel, transportation. But
it's
I feel like
for sure.
Yeah, I feel like it shouldn't be the same price, and that's just my own probably stupid reasoning for it.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess specialized services, right? They're all.
Yeah,
whenever you have a specialized service, you'd expect it to be more expensive because it's like that's all we do.
I would expect UPS
Canada Post is like the library, or it's like the, the go-to for mail.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
like
right.
What Eaton's used to be, and Sears, and all those.
Eaton's. Eaton's is
kind of felt bad when
Eaton's is gone. Sears is about to go to business.
Yeah, I hope the Bay stays on.
The Bay's got pretty good stuff. They're okay.
I think they'll be all right. And now that there's no one else.
Yeah.
And they kind of got the like Canadian connection.
I think Walmart.
Everyone likes the Bay because of like it's like the original Canadian company.
And the HSBC blankets or the
the classic blankets.
Yeah. How's this big company? Yeah.
So expensive.
Because Walmart ruined Kmart, Eaton's, and Sears.
Yeah.
Took them all down.
Meanwhile, Walmart sells crap. Like they sell the crappiest crap. They're like, no, well, it's the same Black & Decker thing that I get. No, not.
Can you get
No, it's not.
Can you get an oven at Walmart?
I'm sure somewhere.
What do they sell appliances?
I'm sure I bet you in like the States Walmart, absolutely. Maybe not here, maybe.
How would you feel about if you went to? So I've been in Walmart in U.S. and Canada. And would you ever buy like vegetables from a Walmart? Produce.
I have been in Walmarts that have that, and I can tell
weird,
you,
right?
I can tell you, I didn't want to do it, and if I did, it was like a lemon or something. Like it was like something I know that was
to put in your
imported
vodka water,
or something like that. I don't know, from Mexico. I don't even know.
I just feel like
it's got to be the worst kind of food.
I almost feel like it's like the discount aisle when they go to this out of date and they
same with like No Name, like President's Choice.
Yeah.
So you go to President's Choice, they have the President's Choice stuff, but then they also have the No Name, like the yellow. It just says No Name. And no, it's better because the President's Choice is a little bit better quality of different ingredients, but anytime I have like a can, like even like chickpeas, if I make hummus at that No Name one, I'm like, there's something that I'm like.
You don't like the No Name?
I don't know. I'm not. I just whatever my tastes are. I'm pretty frugal. I can't go.
Well,
I can't go Yellow Label.
Right. Yeah.
I don't even know. Every time I see it now, I'm like, no.
It's got to be shit food, whatever it is. But like, I remember when I was a kid, like my buddy worked at. No Frills.
Yeah,
and
No Frills
was No Frills and No Name were the thing.
But No Frills was more of like there was no frills in the grocery store. It was just like bare, like weird shelves and like, and it would always be like, I was always the thing. They'd be like, who's No Frills? Oh, it's Dawn's No Frills. Or Jesse and so every now and again you'd be like two people be like Jesse and
well, they're independently owned.
Sheila.
But then the No Name is No Frills, isn't it? Isn't that like
everything about it is No Frills? I think their name is just describing the experience. Yep. So you're not disappointed.
No, for sure. But I think the No Name brand, because No Name is a brand essentially.
But is it No Frills have no? Is it no name product in there?
That's what I mean.
Was it all, or I don't remember?
No, not all, no. But I think that was like their.
Was it? I thought it. I don't know. Really know. I didn't.
But no name.
I used to go to No Frills. I used to take an old woman grocery shopping there. That was a volunteer job.
My buddy used to work there and sell weed at the back door.
Oh my god!
But he's missing.
Guess if you have the customer base already there.
But I was under the impression that no name is. You know what? Fuck, I have no idea. But I remember No Name being in No Frills.
It was in
as
there.
A brand,
okay.
Like as a thing.
I don't remember because I only took this lady. It was a volunteer job I had. Her name was Pearl.
Oh,
she was 80. Of
course it was.
I know.
No one's named Pearl anymore.
She was still in her own house. Her husband had died years ago, and cool. I would drive her up to the No Frills every Saturday, and she would get groceries. Yeah. And I would drive her home, and that was it. It took like an hour maybe, and it was a volunteer job, and she always gave me $7. This is like 2001 or something.
It's pretty good money.
Like for like 30 minutes of work, she'd give me $7, and I was like, I was serving. I was making tons of money.
Oh right.
But still, about $14 an hour is a great wage. But I was like, it's a I specifically was doing because I was gonna be a cop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and so they really like volunteer work. So I was like, okay, I need some volunteer work. So and I liked doing this. She was awesome. Right. Well, so I used to do Meals on Wheels. Oh yeah. But then I got a job that was that was my first. I loved that. Just going over. I drove around and give well sometimes right. I am. You give Meals on Wheels to old people and. I like that, but then I got a job that was Monday to Friday, and I was like, what can I do? I had just started kind of doing Meals on Wheels, and I liked it, but I couldn't do it because they only did it Monday to Friday. And they're like, well, we do personal grocery
You can't get Meals on Wheels on the weekend?
No, you're on your own.
Point?
You got to have some family to help you out.
Survive through Monday, I guess.
Well, I mean, you get 5 days a week, okay? You have all week to prepare for Saturday and Sunday. But yeah, so they said, oh, there's this, you can take this woman grocery shopping. I was like, done. Saturday? Sweet. I was hurting because I had to do it at 11. And so I was like, that was early when you're a teenager, right?
When Friday gets
or like
hectic.
late teen, like 20 years old I was serving late at night and stuff. But I loved her. She was so sweet. And I used to take her arm and help her down the stairs and stuff. Cool. And this was shortly. And so I had she wouldn't take no for an answer. I was like, please. Like, you know, when you deny someone, you have to eventually, she's an older lady. You got to respect her wishes. Yeah. Even though she gave me this $7, I never spent a dime of it. I put it in an envelope in the kitchen cupboard. Wow. I never spent any of it. And unless I was short on money, and I just needed to grab it to pay something, and then I put it back in. So, but that only happened once or twice.
But you've spent it since.
And no, I went back to get it one day and it was gone. I think one of my parents were like, what's all our money do? I don't know what it is. Or my sister took it. Like, let me tell you, when I was younger, I probably would have taken it. So I was pissed though, because I was like, I wanted to do something with it because it was quite a bit. And I would always planned on like just giving it back to her one day, just being like, look, it's a lump sum of money that like you gave me. Or whatever. Yeah, it would have been like, a few $100 or something. And but then you know what, I moved out to Whistler. I had to leave this because I moved out to Whistler like my brother. It was very sad. I had to leave these responsibilities and the money. And I was devastated because Pearl was so sweet and we had a really good relationship. And I talked my mom into taking over for me. So my mom did it.
Wow. Pearl must be no longer.
No, I think she might have had a fall in her house, and then they sold the house, and I think she was living closer to her son or something. Right. But like she was like 90 something. She'd always love telling you, like, I'm 89 years old. Oh, wow. Like she was sweet.
Fucking lady. Long way to go, man. 89, 90. That's a life.
Yeah, I hope I hit it before then.
I'm not sure.
Unless, 89 looks better than what it looks like on them. Who knows how we're going to be. But I feel like we're all going to be like hunchback, crippled, like...
No, I think...
because everyone here has like, a million knee surgeries, plates here, plates there. Like, you don't have a lot of people in the past that have all this crap going on. So there's just going to be like Tin Mans.
I got metal in my face. But I don't think... I think as humans, we will be able to live longer, but the life around us won't be as enjoyable. Like, it's gonna get hotter and more fucked up around, but then technology will keep us alive longer. So we'll be putting up with like way more fires, way more bad air, way more pollution, way more
I think we'll be all right, but it's the next generations and stuff.
Plus, I mean, it's humanity. I feel like we will live longer, but our surroundings will deteriorate.
Get shittier. Yeah.
So we're gonna be living in like for a long time.
I'm happy where we are living in this time.
We did okay.
Yeah, I'm happy. Like, imagine living in like the 1300s or something. Like, whenever you watch those medieval movies or whatever, just like Sarah, like imagine living in Braveheart times.
Like when when wiping your ass.
You're living in a stone house.
Yeah, like wiping your ass hadn't been invented yet. So like
you just hope for the best.
Yeah, or like
you didn't wear underwear because there's no point. It was
you're like,
all the time.
And you're like just reeked like you'd have a bath every 6 years. But I think like, yeah, that's fuck. I mean, imagine.
I could never like. That's got to be some of the worst times to live.
Like I think,
or that time when bathing. Used to, like that's how like the plague went around. Like they used to think that the royalty and the well-bred, they thought that bathing is the thing that they thought that the water made you sick because it probably did from drinking it. So they used to not wash themselves, but that was like killing them and giving them all kinds of bugs. Those frilly collars. My history professor taught me this once. Those frilly collars, they used to be to catch like the lice and the dandruff and stuff would fall out of the hair, and instead of going on their clothes, it would go in these folds. I think
really.
I was told this.
I believe you.
We don't need to Google it up. Maybe we'll do it later. But this is what he told me, and it made sense to me, so I never thought to question it. But we didn't have a lot of internet back in '96 or something when I was in history.
That sounds awful. I think. So I have been told. I know this for a fact is that they talked about the biggest advancement in human health and human like cleanliness is the idea of washing hands.
Yeah, for sure.
And like, I think it's even more than like toilets and sanit, like being able to like flush water and have like plumbing and stuff.
Washing hands is important, but it's also important not to go crazy. Like you shouldn't be putting like antibacterial on your hands all the time. You need some germs for
people personally, but like from the baseline of nothing.
Oh yeah.
But now I get it. You don't want to be too sanitized because we talked about this before.
You need to test your body all the time. You need something to do. Otherwise, just get fat and lazy on the couch kind of thing,
needs
right?
To have some kind of like, it's the same thing as with allergies. Like I have allergies really bad. And when I was younger, I used to get a needle once a week. And it would put like small bits of allergies into my body so my body could build
Yeah, I used to get allergy shots too. Yeah.
So I don't need more, but if I had kept going over time, they'd say my body I would have never needed allergies. I never had allergies again.
Yeah, I kind of had dust and pet hair and stuff.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And that's fine now, but like I still won't be burying my face in a dog. Like that. For some people, they love it. They just get in there and cats, and I'm like,
I would love to if I could.
Tickle my nose and get up there. I don't know if I'll get like wheezy or anything. I don't think I have that, but I just I don't like it. But as a kid, it would make me a bit more.
Yeah. I don't know. I think imagine when they had those wigs, like in medieval times.
Yeah.
Those horsehair wigs. Imagine what they had in them.
No, I can't. Considering how they.
But wait, why would you want to catch? I'm not just. You're wrong. Why would you want to catch?
Because you didn't want it on your garments. You didn't want all this lice, bugs and stuff showing. So if the lice was in the folds, you couldn't see them.
Oh gosh, that's where it would go probably.
Yeah, exactly. It would catch in the folds, so you wouldn't have them crawling around on you.
Gross.
Ooh.
Anyway,
imagine that was your lifetime.
Yeah, well, I lived in a castle, but I had to shit in a hole.
Exactly.
At the time, I would love to live in a castle with a moat and have like all these things. Be like, no,
it seems squalid in there. You better be, You with squalor, exactly. Yeah. You'd rather be out in the countryside. Then that's what they said, like, because the countryside they'd be working in the farm and they'd be dirty, so they'd have a bath once a week or something, usually on Sunday. Probably have to go to church. That was the thing.
Crazy how backward things were, eh? Like the sign of prestige was like being able to catch your lice in your collar. Like fuck, that's ridiculous. Jump in the lake, that's weird. Fuck, I think that's disgusting. But what are you gonna do? Like, have you ever had lice or anything like that?
I don't know if I had it. Maybe I did. We went. This girl caught it at a school, and my sister had a sleepover at her house. Yeah. And then my sister had it, and then I think they did us just in case, and I think they maybe found some nits in my hair.
But it hadn't got to the point where...
But it wasn't... Yeah, it was just like someone else had it, so then my sister had a few.
Right.
So it caught it, caught it, but we still had a few. Like it wasn't a full infestation. But you have to lay with your head. We had long hair, you know. As guys, you just shave it off.
Yeah.
Girls, you can't do that. Not little girls. No.
Shave a girl's head.
No. So you have to go through it with a fine-tooth comb and pick them all out. And I have lots of hair.
You have tons of hair.
But it's very fine, my hair. Like I have a lot.
So it's
but
thin
when
but dense.
Yes. So people are like, no, you have tons. You have tons. Like, should I take it out?
You can do it. Sure. I don't care. Take it out. Show us.
So let me just
show you.
You
have tons of hair. Jamie's got tons of hair.
No, it's not. I have to show you what I do. So I look, like.
Oh yeah.
It looks like tons.
You got a cousin It right now.
Yeah.
You got tons of hair.
But wait, watch. So.
Watch what?
Well, watch what happens.
See, I have long hair. If I did it like this, I'd get punched for doing it like that.
No, yeah, of course. But look at how small this can get.
Oh yeah.
Like it goes into nothing.
I need to figure out that stuff. I'm not gonna do. That's how you do
like
a bun.
Fine my hair is. It's just like all that hair turns into like this tiny little bun.
I've never learned the bun program. Like I don't do it right. I just tie my hair up with a weird knot in the back. You have a ton.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a different look for
the
rest of the show.
New guest. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't usually have my hair down very often because it's fine and it tickles my nose like I breathe it up. Sometimes I'm like,
Mine's only down while it's drying.
Probably cut it,
then
but
once it's dry,
it's hard to do.
It's
hard to cut it all.
Do you go to the same spot every time to get your hair done?
I have two different hairdressers. I go to one more than the other because one, Sarah at Love is in the Hair. Great. Sarah Williamson. She runs it out of, she has her business in Bayshore. She runs it out of her place.
Cool.
She has a home business there. And she's awesome. She used to work at the Loft for years. And then after years of that, she does her own thing. She's great. And then I also more nowadays go to Minnie.
Oh, at Farfalla.
She's at Farfalla, but we do a trade.
Oh, cool.
So because she gets really sore, so she really likes to get a massage. So I give her a massage. She gives me a haircut because that's all I get. I don't dye my hair or anything.
Right. You don't?
I don't.
Oh, nice.
You know why? Because I dye my hair. I think I stopped dyeing my hair in 2004. You know, because you used to have these, and I only did it for a bit. You'd have these chunky streaks. It was very in vogue. En vogue.
What do you mean chunky streaks of what? Like blonde or something?
Yeah, like red and blonde. Like, you know, back in like the early 2000s when like chunky foils, like girls will know this.
I don't know this.
But chunky foils was the rage. It was, you'd know it if you say like, oh yeah, I remember that kind of coloring that people used to do.
Right.
Anyways, I was like, you know what? There's going to be a time where I'm going to have to dye my hair all the time. And I'm in Whistler right now. It's kind of expensive to live. If I can cut off an expense, I have brown hair. I have brown hair. If I want to box dye it, something, whatever. But I was like, I'm just gonna grow it out. So I just let all the hair dye grow out, and I just kept all the hair.
What's box dye? What do you mean?
Like if you go to the grocery store and buy like a box of hair dye, not go to like a stylist. You use this good, better product and better technique.
Right.
So yeah, I go to Minnie to get my hair, but I don't do any of that fancy stuff. I don't blow dry my hair.
Yeah, fuck that.
I don't put any product in it. I have a little bit of a wave. I don't know what it looks like right now. I hope it looks good, but
large.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a large for sure.
Big.
I used to blow dry my hair in the wintertime.
Oh no, I can't.
I used to because it just get too wet and freeze.
No, you know what? Accurate story, because when I lived in Ontario, I used to wash my hair before I go to, and at this time in Ontario, it was really uncool to wear a hat.
What time was this?
When I went to high school in the 90s.
Yeah, cool.
Like, people didn't really wear toques. You'd wear your ball cap because it was cool. You know, you weren't going to wear a toque, but it's Ontario. It's freezing.
Cold,
and you were just a stupid teenager. So I would walk to school with like my hair
frozen to shit,
which I kind of thought was fun. So I didn't care.
Right.
But I was like, so people were like, you get sick if you have, I was like, I tested that theory. Maybe that's another reason why my immune system's pretty good. Yeah. I don't know. I just always push it.
Right.
But, yeah, no, I never got sick from having, and I used to walk to school every day. So myth on my account. Like,
that's ridiculous.
I tested the theory for lots of consecutive days in a row.
Hey, you know what? I have to go to the washer super bad.
Yeah, do it. What do I do? Just.
Oh shit! I can sync the sound. Whoops. Should have done that like an hour ago.
Oh yeah, I remember you. I saw that at the beginning of your thing.
It's kind of my joke. I don't know what we were talking about before, but
I know we.
It's okay. We're going to come back and be like, hey, we're back. But
oh, we haven't done that yet. Okay, I'll put my sweater on. I hate it when that seamless thing happens.
Well, that's fine.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, we're good. We're already back.
Oh, we are.
It's going to show you. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, I'm taking.
Now this is going to be awkward because I'm going to show this again, so it's going to be weird.
Oh well. That's how it happens.
No, what I'm saying is that I get used to when I'm sitting somewhere having a conversation with somebody, and this isn't around. I feel like I'm in the middle of like if I'm sitting at the bar with you and I'm like, hey, how's it going, Jamie? I'm sitting and ask you questions. I feel like I have this like moment where I think I'm doing this again. Like I'm getting so used to sitting here and doing this. Yeah. That when I'm talking to somebody in a regular situation,
it's like you're doing this.
I'm like, don't go into the mode of being on this thing.
Oh yeah.
Because it's, I mean, I guess it's just the way it is. Like
it's interesting because I'm sitting here talking to you and you're exactly like you always are.
Yeah, which I think, but in my head, I'm like, I think I'm being different, but I'm not.
Yeah, no, I don't think you are because this is, I would talk to you like this every time. Right?
Yeah. That's what I hope is the case for this, but.
Yeah, me too.
I wanted to ask you something because I don't know. On Facebook, need a Slurpee.
Oh, yes.
If there's no story, there's a story. I don't know the story. Maybe there isn't one. It's just funny. Do you love Slurpees? I don't know.
Yes.
Even if it's 10 seconds, I don't care if it's a long story or not.
The last is the most correct.
You love Slurpees.
So
where do you get them now?
Okay, well, there's lots of stories about this. But basically, at the time, there was a little time in Facebook history where it was kind of like not cool to have your full name on there.
Of course.
Like you had a weird name or you just put your last initial or maybe you had like CAR and then RIE, like in a space. I don't know what you did, but it was like, you don't want people to find you. So
it's been that way forever.
I know. So then I was like, okay, so I need a name, I guess. And I was like, I don't know what. And I was eating a Slurpee at the time. And I was like, need a Slurpee. I was like, I just need a Slurpee because I always just needed a Slurpee. I love Slurpees. Coke only. I'm really picky. I don't like all the other flavors. I do Pepsi. It's always a letdown, but I always take the thickest. A Slurpee has to be at its thick. I don't like it really runny. I won't even get it. I'm like, no, I got it. Unless it's like churning super thick. I'm like, yeah, it's super crisp that way. I don't like it runny.
But where do you get Slurpees now? Can you get them?
I don't. Well, 7-Eleven, obviously. I meant them the name brand because I love 7-Eleven when it was there. Lots of great stories of drunk 7-Eleven visits.
Dude. That place 7-Eleven has historical reference.
If that place had all those
has
videos,
no idea.
Like if that place would have like just taken all their videos of late night shenanigans,
put a live feed online,
it would even like later. I would buy that if I would buy that video. Oh, yeah. If they're like, you don't know if you're on it, I'd be like, there's definitely a time in 7-Eleven I would be in the highlight reel. I would have got caught
shoplifting.
We did some crazy That's terrible.
Shoplifting like 5 cent candies.
5 cent candy shoplifting is kind of legal.
It is legal for sure. Yeah, it's grazing. It's grazing.
It's $1.20. Yeah. It's like $1.58. You're like, you don't. That was the key. You can't. You just give yourself a few more. You can't be great. If you start, they know they can eyeball what's $2 and what's $1.
You gotta be within 35 cents.
You can eat. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That was that. They were great there.
But yeah, you can't get now that.
So now I don't. So there is a bunch of substitutes, but I don't have them as much anymore. Yeah, like it was always a treat. But I usually had them in the winter because, like I said, in the summer, when you want them. Everyone wants them, and so they're runny, and I don't like them like that. So I'd have to get my fix in like the winter, the colder months when people weren't really getting them anymore. I'd be like, oh, it's so thick and awesome.
Off-season Slurpees.
Off-season Slurpees. That's the best thing about off-season.
Yeah, I don't like the Coke and those versions. I like the fruity versions.
Yeah, I'm only Coke. That's the only way I go.
Yeah.
But I like the reason I like, because Canadian Slurpees are different than any other Slurpees from 7-Eleven that you can get in the world. I looked this up, so this is actual facts. Okay. Everyone else, like America, they inject air into the Slurpee as it comes out. So, when you got those icy thing like that, it was like a pink and a blue. You get it maybe at the movie theater sometime. Sure, that. If you ever had one of those, they were really frothy.
Yeah, because they put ice in.
Because they put air.
Oh.
So when I went to the
CO2
States,
or,
like some kind, exactly. Right. So when I got it in the States, it was like this fizzy, like, because I think it's trying to be like a fizzy drink. So by having that air, but like here we have those little tiny ice crystal-y things.
Right.
So when it's really thick, you can kind of even bite into them. I love that.
Really?
But I also like hard ice cream. I hate soft ice cream.
Oh, texture, I guess.
I don't like milk. I don't really like a lot of dairy, so I can trick it into being
well,
more
those
like
soft ones are probably they're probably more oily and fucked up than they are dairy. The soft ones, well, I mean, they probably have less dairy in them.
Well, it's not the dairy I'm going for. I prefer a sorbet, like a gelato kind of thing. I actually like without milk so much, but you can have an ice cream. A mint chocolate chip is always pretty.
Were you ever into like Pepsi floats, like root beer floats?
No, I didn't like
weird,
I didn't like the ice cream in that.
Strange. Like A&W.
Who thought of that? I don't know.
Some fucking.
Who wants to drink milk in your soda? That sounds. Would you ever? And people are like, yeah, Coke and milk is great. I'm like, can't talk to you.
No, it's
not.
That's disgusting.
I don't know. Same with gin and tonics for me. Gin and tonics, literally.
It tastes like the aftertaste of grapefruit skin.
Yeah, I got you on that. The pininess of gin or whatever. But like it's tonic water that does it.
That's
like
disgusting.
Gin I'm not a fan, but I could probably have something with gin in it and be like, okay, not bad.
Tonic water
but tonic is gross.
What happened? What went wrong there?
I don't know. And you know what's the worst thing about it is that when you tell people that like gin and tonics that you hate, like when if you like a gin and tonic, you love a gin. You love it.
Yeah.
And people are like, it's amazing. And I'm like, taste buds are so fucking crazy. So interesting.
Why?
Like who hasn't, like I know there's been studies, but like that would be like, taste buds open up a whole new world. The fact that some things are just so repulsive to some people and so amazing to others is crazy, and I don't know why.
I like that you don't like tonic. I think it's fucking strange.
It's gross.
It's not good.
And the fact that there's people out there that love it, I'm like, okay, you obviously taste something different than me.
They're psychos.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know what that's all about. That's the whole tonic thing. I don't like mint chocolate chip.
I love it. Ice cream?
Either. Like after 8s, anything mint.
Oh my God.
Mint and chocolate. That's disgusting.
I actually brought not a full, but
Get out of my house.
half box of Junior Mints thinking, maybe he'll like some Junior Mints.
Well, I like Junior Mints because of Seinfeld, but that's it.
Oh,
other than that,
Seinfeld's great.
I think the mint and chocolate thing, I think it's weird.
What's your favorite Seinfeld episode?
I'm so glad you asked me that right now. It's awesome. I think The Opposite is one of my favorites with George, where I see The Opposite all the time.
I don't know them all, so I'm maybe.
Yeah, I think it's season 8 is Opposite.
You're gonna have to give me like a plot here, or what happens, or give me a scenario.
So George he goes against his every instinct and does the opposite, and he starts to become like things start to work out for him. So everything he thinks as an instinct, he does the opposite. And
I've never seen this one.
Elaine gets pissed at him because Elaine starts going the opposite way. Her life starts tanking, and they get.
Oh yes, that's
that
so
one's
funny.
one of my favorites for sure. Yeah,
I've never seen that.
Oh, I've seen it. Oh, fuck.
I know this one's cliche, but the Soup Nazi just does it for me every time.
It's a fantastic
But
episode.
it's not just the Soup Nazi. I mean, I couldn't really care about that one so much.
Right.
It's the fucking side story. The armoire story.
Oh, the armoire.
The whole story comes together.
Yeah.
Comes together because of that armoire.
They were
She's
quite
like,
aggressive.
Street tough stole my armoire.
Yeah.
And he's like, they're aggressive. And Kramer's freaking out about it. And then she finds the recipes in the bottom, and she comes back. But that's my recipe for 5 mushroom bisque or whatever. She's like, I got them all, Soup Nazi.
No, next. And then,
next. And it ends.
You're totally Elaine. It's hilarious.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can be quite Elaine-y,
I could see that for sure.
Yeah, I would be the Elaine in anyone's Seinfeld story for sure.
Fucking hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that show. I mean, I have friends who are just like, why are you fans of that guy? And I'm weaning. I'm kind of working away for a bit, but that show's great. It's funny, man.
So good.
So many funny things in it, and I watched them over and over again.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, but what were we were talking? Oh, mint chocolate ice cream.
Mint. Any other mints after 8s and like.
And then mint. Do you don't drink dairy or consume dairy really?
I was I don't think it's as a kid I guess I was maybe a bit lactose intolerant because my mom I drank as a baby more like after breastfeeding I drank more like powdered milk.
Okay.
Because I couldn't do the dairy. And so I never did. And I used to eat I still do eat cereal dry. Which people get really weirded out about. Weird. I love cereal because it's
like eating peanuts with a spoon.
I like dry, bready foods like crackers. You know, like I really like the pretzels. You know, anything like toast. I have toast every morning. I like that kind of croutons. I'm not a pick the crouton person out. So I like that kind of stuff. So dry. So milk. I did sometimes have milk in my cereal, but like say if it was Cheerios, I'd be milk. I'd throw a ton of sugar on there, and I just basically skim. Like I didn't take any milk. I drained the milk out, just and the soggy. So it'd just be a little bit soggy. So I went for one of my very first sleepovers, and she made me. I don't know what she made me. Some cereal milk. What do you cereal do you want? I was like, oh, this one. She pours a shit ton of milk in there, and I drain it all out. And she goes, "Are you not going to finish that?" I was like, "Finish what?" She's like, "All that milk," and I was like,
"That's not your thing."
I said, "I don't." Because I didn't know any better. Because my mom
didn't make me
do it. It was not even a thing. If I wanted to put a little milk in on my cereal, she didn't care.
You're eating something.
I was eating, you know, exactly. But you know, and she'd pour it in. This lady put a shit ton of milk in. It's not my fault. Like
I was like, ask. Yeah.
I was like, and my mom wouldn't, you know. So, anyways. And the milk would soak in eventually. Like the bottom ones, it got in a little bit more. So they're always getting a little bit. Anyways, so and she was like so indignant, like, you know, like other people's moms were back in the day, like just treat you like a piece of shit.
I spent good money on this milk.
Like what do you mean? Like you're not going to drink your milk? This is just wasting milk. And for me, I was like, well, I just don't drink it. But of course, I didn't know well enough that I didn't drink milk because I get sick from it, and I could, you know, if my mom would be like, oh, she's lactose intolerant, the lady probably wouldn't put.
Parents didn't talk much back then. So yeah, my kid's gonna sleep over. Sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
And now it's like everyone's like, "What's your kid got? Your kid got this. Your kid got this. Does he have an allergy? Does he have this?" Everyone, parents.
Oh yeah, you have to come with the EpiPen. My actual nephew has a major peanut allergy. Maybe
really?
Even other nuts too. They're not testing the theory too much, but he got really like he had to go out of school because you're not allowed to bring peanuts and stuff. And now I get it. Like and people get all upset, but you don't know what's going to happen because my nephew was in junior kindergarten. So in Ontario, you go to school at 4 for junior kindergarten. There's no preschool like there is here. I guess in BC it's preschool.
Right.
And so you go to junior kindergarten, group 4. But if your birthday's in December, you can still try to push them through. So he's 3.
I did that. Yeah, that's how I did.
So he's 3. Going to school, and he sees a chocolate peanut butter M&M, like a peanut M&M on the floor. He's a kid. He knows what candy is. Picks it up, eats it. He's 5, 4. So sorry, he's 3 or something, or maybe he was 4 at the time. I think maybe it's the next year.
He's young.
Yeah, so he was young. He didn't know, and he doesn't know. He knows he can't eat peanuts, but they don't have it at school, so it's not really. And he has his EpiPen anyway, so they're like, we had to inject Emmett with the EpiPen.
His name's Emmett. Cool.
Yeah,
that's cool.
And he got the shit kicked like.
He got fucked up.
Yeah, and it scared him. So he gets it affected his personality even a little bit. And then I remember my sister was like, the local paper kind of found out. So they were like, let's hear the stories. Like, someone it's supposed to be a peanut-free school. And then, of course, someone did. And then, of course, you get every troll like, maybe you shouldn't go to school. Like, and you're like, you know what? I also probably would have been kind of like, well, we can't cater to really special cases, but it happens to anyone. And if you're just fucking responsible and careful, you have to realize that, another 8-year-old might see him with a peanut butter sandwich and be like, I need to stay away from that. But a 4-year-old doesn't. And I'm sorry, that's just how kids go to school. They go to school that age, and you never know what, So that's why you do it. You don't do it for the 12-year-olds. You do it for the 4-year-olds.
Okay, but I don't understand this. Though. This is going to be maybe against the popular opinion, but I don't understand. When I was a kid, maybe I wasn't paying attention.
No one had allergies like this.
I don't get it. Yeah, like I have allergies like seasonal. So I'm not saying they don't have them. No. I'm just curious how they all came
of a sudden about. So many have them.
Yeah, like, and I guess
food.
Like I talked about allergies last episode. It seems like these themes happen on the show, but I don't get how all of a sudden, and it's not all of a sudden, but I always knew bee stings are bad for some kids. That was always bee stings
was a thing more in our day. Like it was like, I'm allergic to bees. They're like, oh shit.
I feel like we got,
and then of course we got the My Girl, which traumatized us all.
Right. So now, and then once that movie happened, everyone got all up on bees.
Yeah.
I don't understand how, and I'm not defending it or claiming it to be bad, but I don't understand how that allergies became such a big deal.
Yeah, I think it must be from over time. Like, I'm going to say, I don't know.
It's people not being exposed to it that gives the allergies.
No, I think sometimes it's the food that we're eating. I think the chemicals, the genetically modified crap that is going into food is changing things for us.
But what I'm saying is, like, when
I really believe that.
When you had allergies as a kid and you got the needle, they gave you a bit of the allergy thing that made, they gave you a bit of dust. They gave you a bit of fur. So
funny story.
If you have an allergy issue to peanuts, how did it get to that point where like you weren't exposed to it in small amounts? Like your parents stopped eating them, or then your parents stopped eating the peanuts?
So there's a thing where you're not supposed to, when you give birth to a child and it grows up, there's certain landmarks where you start introducing certain foods to them.
Right.
And peanut butter was something that they introduced at 6, like early, maybe not 6, I don't know. I remember reading this, but it was earlier. But then they changed it or something, or they moved it back to like almost like 6 months later than it used to be. So say like if it was 6 months, now it's a year, and you don't introduce peanuts until at least a year. But that was bad because it was leaving them too long without introduction to something that they needed to.
So their body kind of forgot that could have been a thing.
Exactly. And then some kids it didn't work out, and some kids it did work out for. And those are the ones that have the major problems. And I think so now they're making, I remember reading, I don't know how I read this, I don't have kids, but sometimes I see things and I just want to know about them.
Yeah, for sure. It's interesting.
So I think so now let's go back to, introducing it earlier.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So I don't know if that's going to work out, but my nephew that has this peanut allergy, there's this peanut study. It was in its 7th session when he did it, and what they do is they start by introducing small amounts of peanuts to you. Yeah. So he would, when he started, he had 1/500th of a peanut.
Touch it or something, yeah.
And then if he was fine, they'd move on to the next one, and then they'd go until he felt like he was feeling itchy or scratchy, and then that was it for the day. Right. And then they'd give him some Benadryl or something like that, and then he'd come back the next week and they'd go start again. And so he got up to the whole. So now he can eat a whole peanut. So it's not like he's going to be able to eat peanut butter. Maybe he could.
Hallelujah. No, it's cool though. I mean,
that's doing it, but that's going to stop him from having anaphylactic reactions to. Minimal peanut contact.
That's cool.
So now his medicine every day is to eat a peanut M&M.
Wow.
Which is the thing that got him into trouble in the first place.
Fuck, right.
Or what?
Bring it back around.
Or his major, problem.
They talk about like on the airplanes, like if someone has a bag of peanuts, somebody can just air contact and fuck them up.
That can fuck people up.
That scares me, man. I don't have those issues, but yeah.
That happened to some guy. I think, where was it? In PEI or maybe even in Nova Scotia, where they were doing I think it was Nova Scotia. They were doing some sort of like cleaning or resurfacing of something, and the particles from the cleaning got into the air duct, and this guy had anaphylactic shock because what they were using to clean was walnut pieces, and it got into the air, and they didn't. He just had an allergic reaction and died, and then that's how they figured it out.
How innocent is that kind of shit, right?
Freak.
Wow. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I think it happened in Nova Scotia.
That's how you never know what's going to happen. Nova Scotia does.
I know. I'm just saying. I'm impressed with my ability to like remember
pull things in. Yeah.
I have a good memory for that. My friend Olivia says she thinks that I have a photographic memory, and I'm like, I don't, because I can't remember everything picture perfect. But
I hate pictures.
Yeah, I like them. I used to love that game. You know that game where you used to like look at a picture for 3 minutes and then you go to the next page and it would ask you a bunch of questions what was in the picture. I would love that. I hated it when I got stuff wrong, but I love playing those.
I like the one where it's like compare 2 pictures and circle what's not in the other one.
Yeah, that's good too.
On your phone.
Those are good. Sometimes sometimes they have one that are really tough.
You're like you miss this thing that's like right here. You just missed seeing it. You're like, well, how did I miss that?
It's just like a small amount of like, it's a little bit longer. Like I've seen some recently that were really, really hard to spot.
Sometimes I see really it and go, that's
so those hard ones are cool.
Yeah.
Because before they're
sometimes I see it and I'll be like, that's not a mistake. That's a mistake in the printing. That's not like, sometimes I'll see something. I'm like, it's like compare these 2 pictures and I'm like, cool. But then I'll be like, that's not a difference. It's the mistake in the picture. So I don't count it.
Yeah, no.
Then in the bottom it's like, you missed this part. I'm like, well, that doesn't look like a fucking mistake.
You blew it. You blew it.
I had something else I wanted to ask you. Damn it.
Yeah. It's all right.
Now, do you have anything that you want to get up? Anything specific you want to say?
Yeah, I never. You know what? I never finished talking about that massage stuff.
Yeah. Well, what did you have to say? We probably just like an hour and a bit, so we got time.
Okay. Well,
so it's up to you.
Just different massage things that I was like. So I always want to say this because I know a lot of people like to get couples massages.
They do.
It's a thing.
What do you mean? So two people, like four people in a room?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you got two people, a couple and two. That's exactly my point.
Okay.
There's four people breathing and moving and doing things in the same room. How is that relaxing? And how is it romantic? You don't talk to the person. You don't see them. You're face down.
If you get excited, it's inappropriate. And you're going to go.
You know what I mean? Like, so people like always like, and people, they book a couple's massage and maybe something. I've had people where it didn't work out and they were really upset. I'm like, have you ever had a couple's massage? Because I feel like if you get them all the time, like, I don't know why you'd want to.
I'll bet you any money, those people who get the couple massages in real life are super annoying to hang out with on a regular.
Probably.
I'm going to just make a general statement here
there are some nice ones, I have to say.
They could be nice, but you can be nice and annoying.
Yeah,
sorry. I'm not. I have no experience, so I apologize. But
no, yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that's a weird thing to ask for.
Yeah, no. I try to think because I've had some nice couples, but the very first at the spa that I currently work at, the very first couples massage I had at that place was this old couple. It was like what they call a May-December relationship, where it's like one person is super old and one person's super young. They were from Texas. Okay. He was very old and she was very young.
Like how old? You mean like with 30-year difference?
Yeah, at least. Like she was like maybe pushing 30, like 30. I wouldn't be surprised if she was like 31, 32, but like I wouldn't be surprised if she was 27.
Yeah.
And he was like 70.
Okay, that's
at least.
You're right.
And she says, now listen, we get couples massages all the time, and we just really like, we don't really care how the massage is as long as we can hold hands. And I was like, excuse me? She's like, we just like to hold hands throughout the massage. I'm like,
doesn't your arm fall asleep? How's that?
Okay, first off, you know how close the tables have to be for two people to be able to reach out and touch each other? How the fuck am I supposed to work with another girl?
What's wrong with people?
With this, and this is how we had to perform this massage. The massage tables were maybe like, and that's real time, like
so you're barely
maybe that close together. So you couldn't be on the same side at the same time. And then when you wanted to get so because they had to be close, and then we just angled them closer because they had to get closer this way. But I was like, we can't have it that close. So we had a kind of like a funnel almost, so they could have close hands, but we could still get in and try to work on their body. And then I'd have to like climb under the table because I have to go all the way.
That?
I could go all the way around, or I could just duck under. I'm short, so I'm like, fuck, I'm ducking under these people and giving them a massage. I mean, they gave us a great tip, and they were lovely people, but I was like, really?
That's a weird
you
thing.
Need to hold hands in your fucking massage? Couples massages are ridiculous, and I'll tell you the reason.
She's checking his pulse.
I'll tell you the reason. You got 4 people's breath all in the same room. A lot of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide. Pardon me, carbon monoxide. That being said, there's always something going on the other table that you don't, because you're face down, you can't see, or maybe you're face up with your eyes covered. Yeah. But something's happening, like someone's moving something, or like making a noise, or
gets your attention.
and you're kind of like, so you're never really like in your own zone. Usually the husband starts snoring, and the woman gets all fidgety because she's kind of annoyed. She's trying to relax, and I'm like, you did this to yourself.
Yeah,
you know,
hold hands.
Or sometimes, that's never happened again, but. You know, like, don't get me wrong. Sometimes we have couples massages where it's like the mom and the daughter. And I understand maybe like it's a young daughter. She wants to be in the same room. That's, I get it.
Right.
I'm not saying don't get a couples massage, but it shouldn't be a thing. If you like being in the room with your partner because you like it and you both enjoy it, whatever. I'm not trying to take it away from you. No. But if you think it's like a romance, let's get a couples massage. It's stupid. Don't do it.
It's the same price, ridiculous. Right? It doesn't cost me less or more.
Yeah, it's the same price. It's stupid.
I think that's...
It's not relaxing. I
guess
unless you need that comfort, and like, then it is relaxing.
I haven't had a lot of massages. I think I've been like twice maybe since I've lived in town. I never really had many. And I don't think that a couple's massage would be. I mean, I think it's kind of weird.
Even if you do it with your husband at 30 years, like, I don't care. Like, yeah, you sleep in the same bed. Like, but you don't need a massage. There's lots of couples that were like, no, I will never. And I'm like, amen. They want to just have their own time and relax.
Yeah, why wouldn't you want
not have to be conscious about anyone else any noise you hear is directly related usually to what's happening with you.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
Not like something else.
I think the individual is way
don't
to go.
get it. Yeah. I mean, you can like cuddle up in the lounge, later. You're not, I think it's weird. You're not talking to the other person, so.
You know what I think is weird is when you go to like Scandinavian Spa and they have like the rooms where people sit in the couches together and like their couples chairs. Like they have these like, you can sit side by side.
I've only been there a couple times, and usually both times have been outside times. So I've always hung out outside, not on it. I have hung out inside on the reclining chairs and stuff, but I've never really sat around the fire on the couch. I've been in a hammock sometimes.
Yeah.
Because I'm usually there in the spring or the fall.
Cheap times. But there's people who like people like
more or less busy times.
Because my thing is you can't talk when you're there.
Yeah, I bring a book. So
why would you, if you sit beside the person, like I feel like, who cares? But I just think it's weird that people try to do affectionate things in like a public place like the spa where you're not supposed to.
I'm not a big public display of affection person either, but I am in a way, like I don't mind if like I'm walking.
I'm not against
my guy like decides to wrap his arms around me, whatever. But what I do not like as a female is just like I see guys do it in public to their girls and they don't care, like grab their ass, like really kind of like in front of like their homeboys or girls or whatever, or like kind of like, I don't know. I find like that. I just feel like for me as a female, I'm like, it feels very like possessive and I'm like, ew.
Oh, it's kind of like show off thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. And maybe the girl, I don't know if she likes, maybe she doesn't, but I don't like the way it looks. So I don't want anyone to do it to me because I don't like the way it looks. Doesn't mean you can do whatever you want.
Yeah, for sure.
My personal, like I remember being
I think it's a guy doing offense. He's like, this is where I'm supposed to be.
And it's just like, it's like, I don't, a guy might just smack his girlfriend's ass he's been there 5 years with. Right. That's fine. I just don't like the way it looks in public.
That's
like
weird.
For me as a female, I wouldn't want my guy to smack me. Like, I just think like, you can do other things. You don't have to do that possessive sexual move. Weird. We get it. You're with me, not for me.
Yeah. Anyway, I see it when I used to go to the spa a bunch. I would see it. I'm like, what? I don't really care, but it would always just spark some curiosity as to why it's happening. I do everybody else what they want. I don't care, but it was weird. So you don't do
couples massages? Are terrible. And you know what? Wait, this is the other thing. I need to say this because I absolutely can't stand it when guys wear underwear in a massage. It drives me crazy.
Well, why would they?
Because what's happening? I don't know. I don't know if they think it's like because I always say the same thing in a massage. I'm always like, you can wear bottoms, you can wear nothing, or underwear. I say you can wear underwear, bottoms. Or I say bottoms sometimes to women that are in bikinis or whatever bottoms. Yeah. But I say you can wear underwear or nothing, your choice. However you're comfortable is perfectly acceptable. I say that every time. Yeah. But I think sometimes the invite, like some people think like, well, she said I could, but she could have think I'm weird that I did take them off. I always, and I think most massage therapists prefer men to not wear underwear unless they're like, women have like thongs, like they have all their buttock usually exposed, or if they don't, you can kind of pull it up a bit. Guys have these long shorts that go halfway down their legs. How am I supposed to get up into where the hamstring ends? It's like you're massaging half a leg.
Then you got to move your underwear out of the way, which seems worse.
Your glute. You need to be able to massage that, and so now you have now I'm fighting with fucking your. Right. It drives me crazy, and I want to tell them like, don't wear any. So I think I might change it because it bothers me. I just want to be like completely nude unless you're uncomfortable, and then you can wear your underwear. But
but you sound like you're like hanging out. You put a towel.
I'm a very good draper.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we have a blanket. We have a sheet. So you move the blanket. I take the sheet. I tuck it like super firm, and then I expose. But the tuck where it is feels very secure and comfortable, and it's the most important part. If you feel like it's like not, hospital corner kind of tuck, if you will, you feel like, what can she see? Is it, or what, it's not a comfortable thing. So you end up kind of holding your leg a little bit in. And now you have a tight muscle, which is driving me crazy. I'm always like, relax your leg. Drives me crazy. Stop fighting me. It's so annoying. I'm trying to massage like dough and not like a brick. I hate it when people can't relax their muscles.
But do you think
relax?
But maybe it's
harder work. That's why I don't like it.
I've never been offered the option.
What?
Of like underwear or not.
What did they say?
It's like, here's a towel. Take your shit off.
Like usually, especially with RMTs, I think more their terminology is undress to your comfort level.
Okay.
So that's what they would kind of say, I think.
Right.
But for me, I just like, it'd be more comfortable for me performing the massage if I didn't have to fight with garments.
Right. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I obviously, if it makes you uncomfortable, but like I think a lot of guys
Both
that do,
do
they think that if I do, she's gonna think that I'm trying to be sexual. I'm not. I just want a massage. Like I think there's too much of there's still that whole like happy ending kind of.
Which is
like
not,
people don't know where it, you know, especially because people come from all over the world here, where there's different ideas, you know what I mean?
Well,
like we get
like,
people from everywhere.
Like I think that's a cultural thing too. Like you see people like, you know, have you been to Japan before?
I have, but not as an adult.
Yeah, so like if you go to the onsen spas there, people just walk around naked in these spots. I mean, it's there's separate guys. And
yes,
girls.
of course.
But then it's like it seems like it's very like proper outside of there. But I don't think it's just cultural. And I think if you're comfortable, you're comfortable. But if you're my assumption is massage therapy or getting massage, you just have a towel. That's what I assume. I never assume anything different.
Well, at spas, it'll be a bit more because people get cold. So a small little towel, usually you have a blanket.
Right.
Like we have like a sheet and then like a blanket and then we have a heating pad that we'll put on them if they're even warmer because there's nothing like people get cold pretty easy. But you can't have it too hot in the room because you're working, you're sweating.
Exactly.
So usually like 23 degrees is in the winter at least.
And do you get massages too by people? Do you generally?
I do, but it's kind of one of those things where you do trades and then you always feel guilty or bad to ask someone because you're kind of busy all the time. And then you think you do more and you always think like, I'm really going to work on it, but then you never do. It's, you need to do more
because as a
trades.
masseuse, you understand the benefit of it.
Yeah, exactly. You preach the benefits all the time and then you never do it yourself. So
exactly.
We understand why you can't do it too.
Yeah, right.
But I always say, you know, like how many times do you take your car into the shop? All the time, unfortunately. And I actually call when I have to take my car to the mechanic. I'm like, my old car was Gilbert, but this is Ralph. I'm like, Ralph's got to go to the spa. Fucking spends a fortune at the spa.
Yeah.
But it's the same. Like for us, you take your car more to the shop than you take your body to the shop. And how many cars do you have in your lifetime? You have one body and, you know, treat it like shit. Like people that don't
their bodies up, man.
Man, I'm telling you, I feel bad for people's skin so much.
Oh, yeah.
I massage the driest motherfucking people. Like people are like, I'm like, your poor skin is just dying for moisture and like put some moisturizing cream. Like I moisturize my whole body every time I have a shower. And I'm not saying I have a shower every day. I usually do, but sometimes it escapes you and that's fine.
Yeah.
But
circumstances don't permit for that sometimes.
But I always put moisturizing cream on. And so now I don't, you know, you don't have to buy a really expensive one if you always do it. But people like, I'm like drenching their dry, parched skin. I'm like, ugh.
It's fucked. I have dry skin really bad, so I use it a bunch. But sometimes I don't do it for a while. And I went on work trips up northern Canada for a little while, and I got super dry skin. But yeah, I mean, I don't want to have it. People, I don't know how you manage it. Like if
you have to just moisturize all the time, and you have to moisturize from the inside. But you can't just drink water. It's got to have. It's an outside thing. It's the biggest organ.
It's a combination. You got to drink water. You got to cover it. Like I mean, some people are blessed with not having to worry about it.
They think they don't. That's a problem.
What do you mean? Everybody needs to moisturize?
Yeah, like, I'm not. Yes. Some, don't get me wrong. When you're younger, your skin is like I've done massages from many 5-year-olds up to like the oldest people.
105.
So I felt all the skins and I'm just like.
I felt all the skins.
Yeah. People have different skin.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Like some skins are so nice to touch and some are just whatever. It makes no difference.
Right.
One of the weirdest massages I ever had was this. And I was really mad. This guy booked last second and I was trying to go down to the city. Hilarious. I was hoping to get off early and he booked in and I was like, ugh. And then I saw him and I was like, ugh.
He's going to suck.
Well, he was, I don't want to guess where he's from, but I'm thinking he was maybe Pakistani.
Okay.
But he was he was quite hairy, but he had a lot of coarse, dark hair. Yeah. Not that dark mattered, but it was very thick and very coarse on his legs because he was wearing shorts.
Yeah.
And I could see his arms, shorts and a tee, and I was like, because
it's hard.
Body hair is resistance, right?
Yeah.
So it's a lot more work when you have to work through hair. So I was like, ugh. Now it's going to be even more like it's going to be annoying massaging his legs and arms because he's quite hairy. I'm going to have to use a shit ton of oil because hair gets tangled too. It's Anyway, so I was like, oh, I wonder if, I was like, maybe his back won't be. And I was like, I bet you it will be. But it's fine. I don't mind a hairy back. I can deal with that massaging. It doesn't bother me. And it doesn't bother a lot of people that do massage because we're used to everything. But depending on the hair, it has a tendency to get, at least in my style massage, tangled.
Like
and
if
there's
you
a
on
lot
your elbow
of,
from here to here, if you do this.
not so much on the arms, but like, lower back hair on men.
Right.
Like if you just have that little patch at the bottom, sometimes it's longer.
Okay.
And then some people just have hair all over their back. So usually it's down here because I kind of do a lot of that stuff and it gets tangled and I'll go to run my hand through. I'm like, oh, there's a huge knot in there.
God.
Now I'm trying to avoid the knot as I'm massaging. I'm like,
That's
so that happens.
That people don't know.
So this guy, and I always do the legs first. So I do legs first, like they're face down. I do their legs while I have a heating pad on their back so I can warm it up so I can get it like loosened up. Then I do their back, flip them over, legs, arms, neck, finish. Yeah. So I do his legs first. And as I predicted, there was just so much. I mean, I saw it was a challenge, but I managed to. Then I went to his back and I was like, I pulled down the sheets and I'd seen a little bit before. It looked like he shaved his neck and I was like, oh yeah, he shaves his neck. That's fine. And then when I pulled it back, it was completely bare, nothing on it, like complete sweater, vest, arms, but the opposite. So he had no hair,
No
but wait.
torso hair, but just arm
He
hair?
had hair. He just shaves his whole back.
Oh, okay.
So he shaved his whole back. Like his whole back was like a man's beard.
Oh no!
Like a man's beard.
Worse.
By the time I finished, I did about 25 minutes on his back, and I couldn't feel my hands anymore from the.
That's the weirdest conversation.
It was crazy. That was one of the. I was like, this is. I can't even. I don't even know where I am. I feel like I'm an alien. Like it was coarse.
Wow.
And then I did his arms. It was a crazy finish, but I was like, why shave the whole back and leave the arm? Like I don't know.
Well, I guess
and he obviously, like someone obviously does it for him. You can't shave your back.
Own back. You'll miss like a diamond in the middle or something.
You'd miss something for sure.
Yeah, that's what I find is like moisturize my back. You just like you can't. I'm learning. You figure out where to get to and how you can get every spot done.
Yeah, you have to. This is the key. Okay, so when you're like, say like sunblock, so. You go like this. I'm going to see if I can do this.
You can go over like this and you got to match it over here.
So you get as high as you can.
Yeah.
And then you do this.
Yeah.
Then that.
Yeah.
This, that. And then you put it on the back of your hand and get it.
If your hands don't move that well, but if you can do it, I can get my hands spun right around on my back.
You can get all the spots? Like if you want, oh no, there's a spot I can only get by using the back of my hand.
Right, okay. Yeah.
My hand doesn't.
Oh,
I guess I'd be awkward.
I just fucking hurt my hand doing that, but
see, I didn't. Back of the hand.
Well, I've been moisturizing my arm and tongue because I'm just getting a new ink on my arm.
Nice, it looks good.
Yeah, so it's coming.
Is it what kind of owl? Or just an owl?
White snowy owl. Yeah.
Hedwig. Are you a Harry Potter fan?
No.
I know it's not really Harry Potter. I know it's not the Harry Potter owl, but
I don't know.
Harry Potter's owl is a snowy owl.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what this is. Mm-hmm. It's but I've been moisturizing it because my tattoo artist was like, hey, you got sensitive skin. And he's like, it swells up fast. So as I'm doing this, he couldn't go as long because he's like, you're skin sensitive. And
once it swells,
I'm 40, so I have like older skin, whatever. But he's like, yeah, once it swells, I can't keep going.
Yeah, because it starts to
keep
make
moving,
the picture different.
It's like 6 hours into it, right? So I'm like, okay. So he's like, he said to me, he's like, I need you to moisturize it. The whole area that you're going to do, you want to do, I need you to moisturize like every day until you come back. And he's like, when you come back, I want you to take like an allergy pill and an anti-inflammatory, like a Advil before. So I've been moisturizing this arm a ton, and I'm like, my skin feels fucking great over here. Like,
I know.
So I'm like, I'm trying to get this side too, but it's doing it every day for the amount I'm doing it. I was like, wow, okay, I'm trying to do. Like, I'm like, I spent years, like I've always had dry skin.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. It's made me realize how
out
much.
Of the shower every time. It sucks. Let me tell you. Every time I get out of the shower, I want to just like put clothes on after, and I gotta fucking do the moisturizing.
But now I use like that. It's not even. It's like that. It comes in a tub, like it's like the bucket.
Yeah.
Whatever.
That's the kind you use.
Yeah.
There's pumps sometimes. You know,
yeah. No, but now
it's
like super thick. It's like super thick. It's like
like a body butter type thing.
Yeah, it's way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I don't need to use that because I've been a daily, so I can use the cheap kind of like say knives or like Vaseline. Like I don't need to buy a really good cream.
I find though, like
since I've been doing like feel this arm. What do you think?
Oh yeah, it's good. You shave your arms.
No, got hair. Look at them all.
Oh yeah.
They're all there. I just have fine hair. Remember?
Oh, you're veiny.
Oh, very.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can pull them out. Actually.
Just like this. Just cover your arm. You can get a vein, no problem. Yeah, it doesn't take long. You just gotta cut the blood off to your arm, then it pumps out. Yeah. I'm super. Have you always been veiny?
I think with massage.
You CrossFit?
No.
Oh no. I feel like CrossFit people are veiny.
Yeah, like I don't know. I probably get, like this one gets really big.
Yeah, it's huge. Yeah, that's huge veiny. Yeah, that's
but
like
I get
Warrior.
Stoked when it comes out.
Oh yeah, you stoked on veins? Yeah.
Well, I don't know.
What's it called?
Vasculus.
Vasculus, right?
Viscosity or something? No, that's liquid.
Yeah. Well, there's varicose, which is bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's not a bad. That's a bad.
I can't
term.
remember. I think very vascular. That's what I was trying to say. Yeah. I was very vascular, man, guys. But I love that about how veiny.
It's a body fat thing, right? If you have super low body fat, you have your veins hang out, right?
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I'd love that if that was the case. I'd say like maybe.
I think
it's not accurate, but
yeah,
I feel like I have body fat, but I don't have any on my lower arms.
No, yeah.
But feel them actually, like solid.
Yeah, yeah.
But that's massage.
Oh yeah, right. Because you're doing this all day. You're doing whatever these. Yeah.
And then like look at that thumb muscle.
What right there?
Yeah.
That's pretty strong.
Look at yours.
Mine's pretty good.
Yeah, but look at mine. It's way bigger.
Yeah, it's better. It's fine. It's better. Cool.
Super firm.
Yeah.
So
do you have
well
this
done
little muscle? Do you have this?
No, because I don't play guitar. Isn't that a guitar muscle?
I don't know. No, it's just something I've always had.
It's from jerking off, I think.
I don't do that. Yeah.
I don't know because my Ollie used to play guitar. You
yeah,
Ollie?
Okay, so Ollie's in Japan with a kid now.
I know, so good for him.
Yeah, I don't. I remember Ollie was a good dude, man.
Yeah, he played the guitar so well. He's a French Canadian kid that lived here. He's a really sweet guy.
Yeah, he was cool. I remember. I thought he was like I skied with him a couple times. He's a good skier. And I was like,
he's great.
I used to think this guy's cool. But now this is Japan. He's got a kid and stuff now.
I know he's probably still the same guy.
I'm sure. I mean, most people aren't that different.
No, I don't think he would be. He had a really good
He's a friendly guy.
But he used to have that point being is he used to have the muscle and he said it was from guitar playing. So then
I played guitar and bass. I mean, I play, but I'm not that great. But I think it's just maybe skiing with ski poles.
I don't know.
It could be genetics. I don't know.
He had it more on one side than the other, like on his
masturbating.
Right? Yeah.
I guess I don't know. I have no idea.
I wouldn't know either.
But I can imagine your arms must get fucking tired as shit from doing massage all day.
Yeah, they do. But like I said, it's kind of like a marathon runner. Right. You learn to deal with being uncomfortable.
Right.
Like you have to keep moving because you have it's not like you can stop.
But if you get like tendinitis, if you get something wrong with your arm, you're fucked.
Well, yeah, but and again in massage school, you're taught how to do proper moves, so you have a long career. Like there's a lot of things you do wrong. Like it's a lot of leg, like
and body weight.
Oh, if you're only just doing this, you need to be like
use your whole body behind it.
Yeah, exactly. Legs are so important in massage.
Legs are good for everything.
But you get kind of lazy. Don't get me wrong. In massage, you kind of are like, sometimes you find yourself in a position that's like, ooh, this is how I need to be able to get this muscle the way I need to. And you're like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, look at me. I'm like
Gollum.
How is this? This guy's all laid out and you're like contorted.
Yeah.
Like, you're not supposed to do that. It's not. That's what they always say. You never get yourself out of your posture.
Right.
If you can't get it, then you don't get it.
I feel like massage therapists should get like hand massages on a regular basis.
It would be nice.
Yeah. I don't know how to do it. You're having to bring a broken thumb or something.
I love people that say like, I don't know how to do it. You know what the best thing about massage is like massage is always better than not getting massage. It doesn't matter how you do it. Like if someone just rubs your hand a little bit, you're like, yeah, it's not the best thing, but it feels better than nothing.
Sure. I always thought like you could fuck somebody up doing it wrong.
Well, yeah, if you're going to go like elbows in, like if you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
It was funny when I went to school, like he'd always try to get us to do forearm work because you don't really use, people use your elbow.
You put your elbow in the back.
I don't. Look at how pointy mine is.
Yeah, but what?
So I can't use this elbow on anyone. It's hurt. No. But I use the back of it. Like if I need to get in like a big guy, I use the back of that. But usually I'm like here. On this weird bone.
You're kind of more like in like that than it is like
I use a lot of forearm. But I remember when we were doing it, and you're kind of going along someone's back and you have no idea. So I understand when people are like, I don't know, like it feels weird. Like, I don't know if I'm on something. I know. Because when I first did it, it was the same thing. I was like, I don't know what I'm on. I don't know what this is. He's like, you feel this muscle? I'm like, I don't even know what I feel. I don't know what the fuck this is.
Right, we can't say that.
And he said, by the end of this course, your elbow is going to feel like your fingertips. You're going to be able to feel with your elbow what you can. And I wouldn't say it's exact match, but yeah, you were like, oh yeah, you kind of know. And now 11 years later, it's just like, I just close my eyes and massage. I always say like, close my eyes, and sometimes clients bust you like, close your eyes, and I was like, yeah, well, I'm just practicing. If I ever go blind, I'll still have a job. And they laugh, but I'm actually serious, kind of.
Yeah.
But my instructor, he was like, always close your eyes, feel it, and it's true. When you close off one sense, other senses get heightened. So it heightens kind of your, just close your eyes. You don't need them. You're in a dark room, anyways.
Yeah, right. And they can't see you.
You open them a bit, like if you need, they're kind of like half closed to closed. I close them a lot though.
Because you want to be in a bit of a zone where you're doing it properly. If you're like, you want to just like go with the flow more.
Well, it's all feel. It's like there is a little bit of visual, but in the end, what you're feeling is more accurate than what you're seeing. Right. Seeing is just a landmark.
Right.
Feeling is like
you can't see under the skin. You got to feel it. Right. Yeah, I've had a couple massages. I don't mind it. I don't do it enough, I guess. I don't know. I don't. I've been fucked up. My body's kind of mangled, but I don't really have any pains anywhere.
Well, that's important because some people come in and they're like stiff as a board, and you're like a rock, and they're like, I don't really have any. Like, I don't feel anything. I don't have problems. And you're like, perfect.
Yeah,
that's exactly. Some people run tight. That's what I call them. I think I run tight. Like,
I'm on that program.
I just run tight.
Like, man, you're so tense. I'm like,
some people are loose as shit, but they're still like, ow. And some people are tight as shit and they're ow. And sometimes they're tight and they're like, I can handle it.
It's really weird.
Sore spots here and there.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess I think it's one of those things where like once you work on it, you got to work on it forever. And if you just leave it, it might be fine.
Yeah, well, there's certain things you can do. There's probably like lots of vitamins that really help with things.
I've heard that like stretching
and yoga and stuff. But I do yoga a lot, and I'm still stiff as I'm pretty. I can move. I'm not stiff. Like I'm pretty quick. Jump down, roll around, hop up. Like I'm pretty sprightly still.
But your day to day is more active than a lot.
Everybody
in Whistler, the day to day is usually a bit more active than most people.
Yeah, no, of course.
So when you get stiff, you're not stiff. You're moving through the day. But if you're like an office guy and you go to the office and you go to the gym, you're gonna get stiff.
Yeah,
if you're like biking and running or swimming, whatever it is, doing things all.
Yeah, I'm quite fluid.
Yeah, that's cool.
Even though it's like work, it's. Yeah. But I always say that's what I say. I do manual labor when people ask me what I do for a job. I'm like, oh, I'm manual labor. And then I tell them I massage, and then they laugh, and then they're like, well, you are. And I'm like, yeah, I know. That's what I said.
Yep. That's what I just said. That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah.
What else do you got? Anything you want to say?
I don't know. Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. I feel like whenever the one thing that gets me is like, I turn on that mic and I'm like, oh, I should have said that.
Oh, there's always, I can always keep talking.
Yeah.
But,
have you ever done like speaking engagements or public events and stuff? Are you like
I'd love to.
You'd love to.
Like, it's a dream for me.
It is. Why don't you do
and
it?
Like,
what's?
Well, I don't know. I think maybe I just don't know the right people. Maybe I don't have the right, and I'm not in the right circles. I'm in a dark room massaging people all day. That's my exposure to people. So I don't really have a job or anything that would put me in that kind of, in that kind of a light to.
Right.
I know you're doing your podcast thing, which is great. I don't know if I could. I've talked so much. I don't know how much that you have talked. I feel like I've been talking the whole time. I usually take over.
But that's the point. Like
which is good for you. I don't know if I could do this.
This podcast isn't about me. I mean,
no.
It is a bit.
It's just chatting.
Yeah, I think as the guest, I'm trying to get things out of you and talk. But I feel like, you're a good talker. But
I'll have to come back for a second round.
Of course, hopefully. Yeah, for sure. The first time's good, but it's always like you're like, oh, I should have said that, I should have said this, I should have said this.
And then you come back armed with all sorts of hilarity.
I'm trying to get better at. I'm always going like, yep, yep. I'm trying to stop doing that between when you're talking. I'm always like, oh yeah, cool, yeah, and then I'm making these little comments that no one needs to hear because it's not helping your story.
Yeah, but I like a little back and forth.
Sure, yeah, a little bit, but I'm trying to learn to like not do it as much.
That's like an interviewing technique, actually.
If you watch my podcast, sometimes I'm like, yep, and then I interrupt somebody. I interrupt all the time. So I'm trying to figure that out. But
Yeah, because if you ask someone a question and then they answer you and then you don't acknowledge that they finished talking, they usually will start talking again. It's human nature, right?
It's that whole like.
So if you just kind of hold it, like you can get that's how they get people in
cops
police.
Do shit.
Yeah. They just keep on like ask a question and they just you can ramble yourself into your
silence
own grave.
is awkward. Yeah, and if you're like at an interview, so I learned this before. So that's one thing I do when I'm in an interview. And the interviewee goes silent. I'm like, and I finish talking. I go silent too, and I'm able to combat the awkwardness until that person starts talking. The key is to learn how to say, you know what, fuck you, you're not gonna get me. Yeah. And then let that awkwardness bounce back on them. Because sometimes, in my experience, the awkwardness gets you. But if you can outlast for like even 5 seconds longer, then that person will be the one who goes fuck and then starts talking.
Oh yeah, I never do. I'll just keep talking. I was like, I am the person that makes like I've been around where someone says something like that's just an awkward situation. Usually it's a couple situation where the couple says something weird and then the other couple says something like kind of back and it's just kind of a weird moment and I just like, yeah, you know, like I'm like the butt. I just keep I don't know, I just try to get it like clear. So because usually it's an awkward situation that no one wants to be in, not even just the bystanders, but they're like, oh shit, like there's a situation here, we don't know how to get out of it, we don't know what to say, and that's one of my perks of having me as a friend. I'll be like, well, you know, I don't even see that.
Yeah. I like my MO.
I love helping people out of an awkward situation.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's good. No, I think it's great. I try to make things awkward because it makes me laugh.
I also like to do that too.
And then I'm like, this is going to be hilarious. Watch this. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that. So I'll do it. And then I just think that I say things that people are like, what the fuck? But I only do it because it's making me laugh and it doesn't make sense. So it's funny.
Yeah.
But in these kind of conversations where I'm talking to people, like I'm trying to learn how to not forget about the point of the situation. Like remember we were talking about your brother and like the thing. That was one of the first times I learned to go back and go, hey, don't forget this part because I can see Jamie going off course.
Yeah, I go off course all the time.
Me too, and I'm not used to stopping myself from it.
So many unanswered questions. Someone's like, why didn't she go back to talking about her cousin John?
Yeah, that's why you gotta go
I'm like,
back.
remind me to tell me about her cousin John.
Like,
I mean, maybe I could tell you that story now.
Maybe someone's taking notes, but
exactly.
I think like that's the idea of learning how to be a conversationalist or talk in a conversation is like it's teaching me so much about how to actually listen, because I have to listen then to keep the conversation going. Mm-hmm. So if I zone out, like sometimes I'm like checking this and everything else, but I'm full on listening. So I wear my headphones because otherwise I'll just gap out.
Yeah.
But I'm learning how to and in conversations, people need to realize that when you're having a true conversation, listening is as important as talking, obviously.
Yeah.
But not getting too far ahead of where you're thinking. So if you're thinking if you're trying to think of a response or the next question, you're not going to get that good interaction. So you've kind of got to in my opinion, you've got to kind of learn to leave this blank spot at this like this point ahead of you until you get to it. So I'm like, sometimes when I'm listening to you talk, I'm like, okay, I can't fixate on this spot because I want to get to where she's going.
Yeah.
But it's a task to keep it going because it's on me. It's not on you. It's not on you to keep this conversation going. But
easily I can.
I know you're a talker. I'm like, oh, Jamie's coming. I'm like, I knew Jamie's a talker. Cool. So it's good because then I know that we can both talk. If someone's like, hey, I want to come on, I'm like, last time I talked to you, you said 4 words and it wasn't interesting. I'm like, yeah, cool. Well, I'll try to work out a time to figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
And I like that person, whoever it is. But it's gonna take me a lot longer to get better at being the host to bring them on.
Yeah.
Because it won't do that.
You're not there for. Yeah, you're still working on what you want to sharpen within yourself.
Yeah, and that person could be a great guest if I help them along.
Yes, of course.
But if I don't know what the fuck I'm doing, that person's gonna be a shit guest, and it's gonna look bad on both of us.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's not time yet.
Yeah, so I'm learning someone like you. I'm like, yes, I'm like, Jamie's perfect. She's a good talker. She's great. And
I'm so pleased. Yeah. I was like, I could talk about anything forever. There's always a story.
And if I've asked people like, hey, you want to come on? Like, oh, I don't know what to talk about. I'm like, what? And then I'm always like, have you seen the show? And they're like, no. I'm like, okay, cool. So I don't expect anybody to listen, but I'm like, if you want to come on, you should take a listen because then you can figure out we're not talking about anything. We're just
And I wanted to do the opposite. I was like, I hadn't seen it, and I was like, it's kind of like when you there's a movie coming out and you wanted to read the book, or you have it on your shelf and you've been meaning to, and
but
you're
now the movie's out.
It's now too close. So you like, if it's too close, like if you read the book ages ago and then the movie comes out, you're stoked. Then you go and see the movie, and then you're like, yeah, it wasn't bad. If you really remember the book, you'll be like, here or there. But if you read the book and then watch the movie, it'll ruin it. You'll be sitting in the movie like, nope, that didn't happen. They didn't even bring that in. That was so important to the book. I can't believe it. You're so angry. So then you have to wait. And then, sometimes it's hard to read the book after because you're like, well, I know it's going to happen.
I have Fear and Loathing. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I did that. I watched the movie a long time ago.
I hated that movie.
I didn't.
And the reason I did it because I didn't understand probably being really fucked up on drugs because I didn't do that really. But even...
Had you read the book?
No, I never read the book. But it just annoyed me, those people being in that way. Like that, even in real life, like people that are really fucked up on drugs or like super drunk. I'm like, ew, I don't even want anything to do with you. I can't... because I always lived my life. I didn't have a lot of people, I didn't have a lot of boyfriends and stuff. I was single for a lot of 7 years I did, and it was great. But I always had to take care of myself. I knew that, and I always knew I didn't want to be super fucking clowny wasted and have my friends have to take care of me if they weren't. Right. If they were even able to. I didn't know if they got as bad as me. So I was like, you can't get more drunk than you can take care of yourself.
Sure.
And sometimes I've been like drunk as shit, like went to the bar and puked in the Garth's toilet and been like, you're going home. I send myself home a lot. I'm like, no one needs to see you like this. You look terrible. There's nothing I hate more than fucking wasted chicks. They look, don't get me wrong, guys look bad too, but there's something, unfortunately, it's about us girls. When we get drunk, it looks terrible. So stop being those girls. And also, wait, before we do anything else, let me get this public service announcement. If you're the type of girl that goes into the bathroom, a public washroom, and pisses all over the seat because you don't want to put your ass on it, your thighs on the seat. You don't want to put your thighs on the seat because it's gross. People pissed on the seat before you. I don't know, whatever. I don't care what your reasons are. If you're going to fucking hover and piss all over the seat and not clean up after yourself and then expect me to come in and piss when in your waist, I'm sorry, clean up after yourself. It's a ladies' washroom for a reason. I cannot stand this. You have no idea. Or people that put toilet paper on the seat and then leave it there.
Oh, right.
I'm like, I come into the bathroom, there's like half toilet paper in the bowl, half on the seat. I've got to clean up after you. Fuck you. That's all I have to say to you.
I respect
Clean up your shit and stop being a fucking miserable piece of garbage. It's a ladies' washroom for a reason. And if you're pissing on the seat and cleaning up after it, shame on you. End a rant on that.
I love that. I respect the I respect the
passion.
Yeah, because
pisses me off.
Bathrooms infuriate me a lot, but I didn't know the whole hovering thing seems strange to me.
Yes, women do this because I'm guessing because they don't want to sit on the seat. Or sometimes someone's pissed on the seat before them and now they have to. But I can't take that risk because sometimes you're in heels, the bathroom's fucking wet, and you don't know if you might lose your balance. I don't want to fall on your piss. So now I have to clean up your piss. I have to clean after you.
Guys do it too.
Yeah, well, of course.
You know, like the horseshoe toilet bowl?
Where of course.
They piss with the seat
They piss
down.
all over it.
Yeah. I think it's crazy. But I'm like, who just walks away from that?
I don't know. In your own house, if you piss all over the bowl, do you fucking leave it? No, you kind of wipe it with toilet paper. You're like, stop being fucking gross in public washrooms. Sure, They're gross because you're being gross.
I get that. I get that.
Obviously a fire topic.
I get that. When it happens, like when I'm like, say you're in Garth's, okay, everyone's fucking wasted, I get it. But we were in a restaurant where clearly no one's drunk and there's like pee on the seat. No one's like, it's like this person walked in sober, had all their wits about them, did it and then left.
Yeah.
That's weird to me. I can understand. I don't like it, but I understand when the seat's fucked up in the bar, things are piss everywhere, people are fucked up. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't like it and I don't agree with it, but I can understand how it happens.
Yes.
But your frustration I still appreciate your frustration.
It's not just in a bar bathroom. It's in a hotel, restaurant, airport. People are pissing women or ladies are pissing all over the seat and not cleaning up after themselves, and then expecting other people to just, who wants to come into that mess? Stop being disgusting. I fucking hate you.
It's like dog owners don't pick up their poop.
See, this is funny because I just got into a rant there, and but we went through this whole podcast where we just had casual conversations back and forth, and this is the kind of shit my friends probably expect to see.
Yeah,
like, there it is. She's coming out of her
I knew that was
so I'll have to come back for a rant episode.
Yeah, we could do rant.
I just kick off because I have passion about a lot of things that I dislike.
Look at the levels of volume you got going.
Sorry if I'm yelling.
No, it's good. It's great.
Back away.
I have learned that doing this, that I know you know that I'm like, hey, I'm gonna Jamie go on a rant whenever it's time to go on a rant.
Yeah, love it.
But
it's releasing.
I rant so much that I can't keep doing it because it's just gonna be like,
it's just
so I try
ranting with Proctor and guests.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I agree. Like I respect the whole put the toilet paper on the seat.
Whatever you need, feel that you need to do.
But you can't leave it behind.
Clean up yourself.
Yeah,
clean up after yourself.
That's 100% how I feel.
Yeah,
I feel like
you go out to a picnic, you clean up after yourself. You go on a hike, you go camping, you clean up after yourself. You go and piss anywhere, you clean up if you leave a trace.
I can't imagine that person with the piss seat, what their kitchen looks like.
I mean, what are you doing? Like, why do you want to be the person that behaves like? And the
but
worst thing is there's a lineup. It's one thing if you're in a huge stall and you're like, no one's gonna see. Fuck it, I don't care. But if there's a lineup outside and you fucking walk out of that thing and you have not cleaned up your mess, it's like. You want to take that girl's hair and bring her back and shove her face in that joint and say, "Is this fucking okay with you?"
I'm not going to assume it was the person before you. I'm going to assume
there's
it was
a lot of
you.
F words that have come out of me.
That's okay.
I've been holding back.
Well, you can say.
I know, but I love an F bomb. I say it like twice a sentence sometimes.
I like
it's
it too.
Horrific.
I like using the F bomb on social media because I feel like makes people feel uncomfortable.
I use the C word because I know it pisses people off.
If you're from anywhere in North America, use the C word, they're like, wow. I mean, anywhere else, really, for the most part, it's fine.
It's not great, but it's not. But like for me, I never ever refer to that, the C word toward female genitalia. It's always just some asshole that's being a cunt.
Yeah, it's female or male.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, sex doesn't matter. Yeah, just general dickery.
I don't use it in reference to the female.
No, I just find it vulgar.
That's
really,
disgusting.
I just find it vulgar and not sexy. And so why would you bring it into the? Like, I get it. There's people that like it rough and dirty, like if that's your thing, but you can't bring that into general population.
That word has so much.
It's just dirty. It's filthy. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But I love saying it because I love shocking people. Like I was telling you earlier about the pets, that I don't really like pets.
There's some.
I like
pet owners.
I like animals. But I don't want pets in my own life. So I like when I'm out just to be a little bit of a devil's advocate, a little bit of a dick, get a rise out of people that like talk about their dog. They're like, "Oh, do you want to see pictures of my dog?" I'm like, "I don't really like pets." So, and they're like, "What?" They get angry.
Yeah, for sure. I would have a pet. I might get a dog. I have really bad allergies, but some dogs I can handle. And I want to get a dog, but I don't. I would never assume anybody wants to deal with my dog. People, I think what you're getting.
I've taken care of dogs.
Yeah, people assume that I'm okay with your dog doing whatever your dog wants around me. People feel that way.
Yeah, I'm. My personality is my personality. Like if I have a dog come up to me and like sometimes you see a dog and he jumps off on one person, they're like, "Get off," and then he comes over to you and he goes to do the same thing. I'm on it because you know what? He's already not supposed to do that. I already know, so I have no problem also enforcing that same discipline that they're. And I'll be like, "Off." You know?
Yeah.
And if he listens, whatever, I don't mind, but I'm not going to be like, "Oh, tell your dog." You have to also tell the dog, like, sometimes the dog gets excited and happy and, you can't, like, sometimes it doesn't always listen, but you have to help. It takes a village, as they say. You have to help enforce the rules. Same with kids. When I was a child, I used to have other stranger adults tell me off all the time. Like you'd run to
I don't agree with that.
I did, absolutely.
I guess in some ways
it was okay
Sorry.
if someone scolded your child. If your child did something wrong, you were like, well,
yeah,
you'd go up to your mom and be like, hey, she yelled at me. She's like, well, kind of takes a village. Nowadays, if there's a situation where a child does something, you should be like, hey man, that's incorrect. The parents like, don't talk to my kid. It's like you're just, you're helping that bad behavior.
Yeah.
You should recognize that, the behavior was bad. And, I'm not saying thank me, but don't attack me.
I guess it's
for helping.
What you're saying is like
helping what you want the child to.
Right. The appropriate response to a social situation is like.
But it's difficult.
Right.
Nowadays, people take it as a affront to their own parenting when it shouldn't be.
Well, because sometimes it should be. Sometimes.
Well, maybe it is not. But like I said, a kid does what his kid's trying to figure it out.
You can't predict dogs. You can't predict kids. Like this thing is like you can train your dog all you want.
You need to help enforce what decorum should be, kind of thing. Like we're not saying like go up and like hit a child or like smack a dog around.
No,
even if they deserved it.
Right.
But, if your kid's climbing all over something they shouldn't be, and you're like, listen, get down. You're going to hurt yourself. You shouldn't be out there.
Yeah.
If the parent's like, don't, you should be like, well, that's right. You shouldn't be doing that. And that's twice, because I remember when a parent, like someone told me that wasn't my parents, was like, no. I was like,
probably listen a bit more, maybe.
Absolutely, you would.
Sure,
absolutely, you would.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think that if you're telling some kid not to do something, it's because their parents should be telling them the same thing, but they aren't there.
Yeah.
Like,
well, sometimes they're in the...
You can't be everywhere.
It's like a dog that jumps up on you and then he jumps up on the next... He knows it's not supposed to do it, but he's so excited. He can't...
And you know what?
Emotional
People got to
learn.
Kids got to learn. If you do something wrong, you get hurt sometimes. And for the most part, like trial and error is life.
Yeah.
And like you get a thing where it's like helicopter parents where their kids don't get to do anything.
I know.
And that kid like does one thing wrong and like falls and gets like one small cut.
I think I would struggle with that. I don't think I don't want to be a helicopter and I wouldn't want you, but like I'm quick to react to things like...
Tough, man.
So if I see that something's going to happen, I was like, oh, I don't want to deal with the outcome of like a cracked skull.
Yeah, of course.
You know what I mean? But sometimes a cracked skull needs to happen.
Yeah.
Not always. Like you see kids with broken arms all the time. Like they climbed up something and fell. Like it happens. Well, you don't want it to happen. No. I never had any broken bones, knock on wood. I broke 2 pinky toes.
Oh yeah.
But I haven't actually, and they always say it gets worse as you age. So I'm like, great. Anytime it wants to happen, let's get it over with.
I've been fucked up a few times. I don't think that's really changed. The thing is I think that you have to let your family or kids live to chance. Yeah. And sometimes the chance goes sideways enough where it's a bad scene. Like but being sheltered is worse.
It's just as there's pros and cons to each.
Yeah, I'm not a parent. I don't know.
Nah,
I got a niece and nephew.
It's hard to see something you love so much hurt, so you don't want to see them in and maybe you can't deal with the fact that they might break their leg. You're like, I can't take 2 weeks off of work to take care of your 8-year-old broken-legged ass.
Kid wiping out. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I don't have time for this.
Yeah,
ain't nobody got time for that.
No. Okay. Well, on that note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Yeah, you have a good time?
Yeah, okay,
absolutely.
Cool. I hope I'm invited back.
You are for sure.
I'll do a rant.
Yeah,
a rant episode and
for sure.
Get really passionate.
Yeah, I mean, we had to test the waters first time.
Yeah.
Can't be too
Can't wait to be back.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I'll bring another root beer maybe.
Yeah, cool. Okay.
I drank the whole thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Nice. Yeah, I drank 3 beers while we were sitting here.
We had some time.
Yeah, it's good.
Well,
awesome. Well, thanks for coming. Yeah, that's the best high five I've ever had in the 16 episodes. Everyone else is too scared of high fives.
Oh, no, I'm committed.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for coming, Jamie.
Yeah,
do you need to plug something? You need to care.
No, not important. But
okay, cool.
If you want to get a massage, figure it out where I work because I'm excellent.
Okay, cool. Perfect. All right. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.